Water is the softest and most yielding substance, yet nothing is better than water for overcoming the hard and rigid, because nothing can compete with it. Lao Tzu.
Name straight, new wave. Name straight, new wave. Name straight, new wave. Name straight, new wave. Name straight, new wave.
4v3.
Everfrog Esports trying to find what angle they can, trying to find somebody out of position.
We're gonna go through on this. Oh, what a roll. We're gonna take flag. White gonna go in.
It's going to be a really, really interesting one.
Oh my god. All of this competition could be so damn close, so I cannot wait for us to finally decide who's going to be the champion. We are expecting some chaos, some great moments.
Beast Mode has killed 3. Only gonna really need that Rampage, so it's gonna clear it out. Santi gonna get themselves a big old 4K. Oh. Santi's getting rid of 3, clearing out the house.
That is crazy.
Nunji actually kills 3 people.
This team feels entirely different on this faster composition. Now Sagafar is hanging around, getting onto the high ground. Post bomb's gonna stick under Leaky. They're not gonna be able to survive it at the end of the day. Manages to find a 3K.
Rio shoving this Ana into a corner. Woo! One more for the road for Rio.
That is all signs go. Melophobia with 3 Melophobia. Start the fight. They'll end the fight. Oh my god. Beagle Bus, they have to play aggressively into this energy. Popping off in a moment where you needed just that. Ruby in that backline. Oh, the flick. Looking for it. Oh my goodness. The 4th one as well. Do they get the ace? They get the ace.
Two teams enter. One will emerge the NA Diamond Grand Finals champions. Welcome to this final week of SNO for the MTT 14 season of CGL. I am Tryhard Ray, your host for the night, and I'm joined by some very handsome lads. 2 of them who dressed for the occasion. One who dressed very fancy, given this is the grand final, and the other slob over here on the desk who just, got a nice shirt on, but nothing fancy. We got Mr. Headrammer, boss man himself, Joker's
Hello.
Ransom,
Yo.
and Dexatron, first time on the desk this season, I believe.
Yes, I believe
Probably.
so.
Yeah, very, very awesome to have you on the desk this week, gentlemen. Very excited to be diving into this. The NA Diamond is one of my favorites because it's not always the meta we see in here. We can see a lot of crazy shenanigans, a lot of teams playing to what their strong suits are. But let's go ahead and just talk about the thoughts on this division in general and what you guys have thought. I mean, Joker, Dex, you guys cast a lot. I am sure you guys have casted a decent amount of this Diamond division. I'll start with you, Joker. Well, what have you thought of this division so far?
It's been fun. I'm definitely excited to see who comes out on top, right? I believe I casted Oops All Vibes last week. And they're looking really strong right now. Things could turn out differently than predicted.
How ominous.
Well, we'll leave that up in the air. We'll see what that ominous means later on in the show. We got Preds obviously later, so we'll go ahead and move on to Dex. I mean, what have your thoughts been as a caster casting this division?
I mean, like you kind of said, this division is always fun to cast because it's not necessarily you're going to see a lot of the meta. It's going to be there. It's going to be there in bits and pieces, but you're going to see a lot of players also just playing their comfort characters throughout this one here. But when you look at these 2 teams we have in this grand final, Queen of Diamonds, undefeated in the regular season, won the mid-season, has gone through the upper bracket, not dropping any games, but one thing I have noticed, they are starting to drop more maps than what they have done all season long. So that's going to be an interesting thing to watch out here tonight. But on the other side, Joker, me and you did cast Oops All Vibes. I don't remember if it was their Losers Round 2 game or was their Losers Semis game. But remember, when we were interviewing one of the players from that team, they did tell us that the team that they were most scared of going forward was going to be this Queen of Diamonds team. But I'm not necessarily thinking that they're scared in the way we kind of think of it. They're more looking forward to the challenge of trying to take down this giant.
Couldn't agree with you more. These 2 titans will be going at it. And the most interesting thing as I come to you, Headrammer, is we are in a brand new patch that just dropped on Tuesday. And these teams have had very limited time. I mean, we talk about how Diamond, can be, comfort picks, but it still matters. We might see some more Orisa, who knows? But how do you think that's going to factor into the matchup?
I mean, with how long the meta was what it was, teams get very comfortable, they get practice, they get very good at it, anytime there's a new patch like this, even if it isn't like a crazy nerf to the characters, it does open up more opportunity for those variations in comms, and for a team to potentially take another team off what they're most comfortable with. That's when things are on the line, especially, like I said, we're in a grand finals. If you start, losing on something you've historically been winning the entire season on, that can start eating to the mental. You're like, oh shoot, we got to change. We got to try something else. Do we have to mirror them? What do we do? And I think that does tend to lead itself to a grand finals like this. We've seen Queen of Diamonds been dominant the entire season, but the entire season's been pretty similar-ish in meta for quite a long time. They 3-0'd Oops All Vibes twice this year. But exactly like Dex said, it seems like Oops All Vibes right now is on a little bit of run, and Queen of Diamonds is starting to bleed.
It's all going to be about mental fortitude, and no pun intended, but the vibes in the comms and making sure it is all positive and good throughout the match. So as we mentioned, let's go ahead and bring up the bracket for these two teams and how they got to this point. As it has been stated, Queen of Diamonds, outside of dropping some maps, have had a perfect season, haven't dropped a single match, won the mid-season tournament. So they have been basically no blemishes on their record whatsoever. Oops All Vibes has made a run through the lower bracket. And I'll go ahead and bring it to Joker on this one. I mean, you guys casted them, as Dexatron mentioned. What do you think has been the catalyst for this run?
It's really funny, right? I believe they said they were a dive team, but they were playing Reaper, Mauga, Echo, perfectly. Well, not perfectly, but at a very high degree, right? And that mastery of the meta, even when you think you're a better dive team, is crazy, right? That gives you so much flexibility to work with, especially if, say, they take some maps early and they want to get forced off this Amalga Rush, and Queen of Diamonds try to take them to, say, like a Dorado, something like that. It gives them a really good standing to keep things going their way.
I've been kind of talking about this every time I cast, but the power that we've enabled the teams to basically have after map 1. I mean, Queen of Diamonds will have the first map pick since, they're the ones who've been waiting in the grand finals. But after that, it's open map pool. And Dex, just talk about the importance of that.
Yeah, I mean, especially right now, you talked about a little bit new patch coming in. No one necessarily knows what the kind of meta is, but we kind of have an idea since not a lot of stuff changed at the top. But I mean, like Joker said, this Oops All Vibes team talked about themselves being a dive team. We are seeing dive, at least from what I've seen in the Face It games going on the mainstream and on some of the co-streams as well. Dive is something that's coming up in a little bit more. You can see Winston. D.Va is also a good option there. It's just gonna be interesting to see throughout the night where each team kind of brings us, because like Joker said, I'm going to touch on it again. Oops All Vibes wants to play a little bit of dive. If they want to do that, they're going to be bringing us 2 maps where they can run the dive consistently. But we talked about before we came on, I thought one of the reasons that Queen of Diamonds was necessarily dropping maps was maybe they weren't necessarily the most comfortable on that Malga comp. Maybe they like to play something divey as well. They were just playing it because it was what was meta at the time, and it got them to this point here. And yeah, they're still an incredible team, but maybe now that the meta is sort of flexible at the moment, we're going to see this Queen of Diamonds team just come back to life like they were in the regular season.
I mean, I'll go ahead and go to you on this, Headhammer, but I mean, you watch a lot of these matchups. You do SNO with us. You seem to be in the chat a lot, no matter, it's a regular season playoff game. I remember for Queen of Diamonds, Cloud Lemon being a very good Winston D.Va player, so it would not surprise me if they are totally fine going to that dive.
Yeah, absolutely. That would also be really exciting to watch, personally. I mean, we actually had a grand finals earlier for EU Masters where it ended up being a majority Winston dive mirror the entire way through because both teams just wanted to play it, and it actually was incredibly entertaining. I know we've talked about teams that are more comfortable dive. At the same time, a lot of this Maho comp sometimes to a degree plays a little bit like dive too, and a little less brawly, trying to hit the slams, assassinate, and target there. So I can see why a team that is good at dive could be very good at the Malco comp as well. I also want to touch on what both Joker and Dex said regarding the map picks. It also gives you the opportunity to lock out a game mode from your opponent. If you have a really strong map in that map pool and it's a game mode that with remaining not being very good for you, you can steal it away right away in the beginning and take that guaranteed map win potentially, and not allow your opponent to get to what they want to.
Yeah, just touching on that Mauga you were talking about. I think me and Volska have been coining it like a ground dive, basically, where you're coordinating with your Echo and, whether you're playing the Reaper or the Tracer, and you're just coordinating on that slam to begin with. So it definitely has some components of a dive. So that's going to be very interesting. But we're going to go ahead and take a quick little foray away from this matchup and go ahead and transition into our desk segment for the week. And for the final week of SNO for this season, we got the boss man in charge of the segment once again, as all things should be. He always comes up with great segments.
Yes. So, I figured, some of y'all have been around for CGL for a little bit, and we love putting our desk members to the test. So we're going to do a little bit of CGL trivia. So this is trivia, not necessarily Overwatch specific, but everything about and around CGL. Okay? How confident are all of you that you know this information?
Not at all.
Not at all.
I was talking about this beforehand. It depends how far back the trivia goes.
I've
only been around since season 8 or 9, I want to say. So if it goes further back, I'm going to be a little worrisome about that.
I've forgotten the name of the original what CGL used to be called, so I'm cooked. Because
I think going from left to right on this desk is the knowledge. Ray will know the most. I'll know the least.
No, I think Joker's got me on the knowledge, to be honest. We'll see though.
All right, well, I guess we'll see in this thing because it's we got a little bit of interesting questions. All right, full screen me. Let's do this.
Oh, I gotta pull up the buzzer. I forgot.
Yes, pull up the buzzer. That's what I need from you guys. Because I only got 3 of you. Sorry, 2 of you in here.
I'm here.
Are you there?
I just got in there.
Okay, sorry. I gotta move this over here.
It's me who's not in there yet. I'm getting in there.
Hello? Is it me you're looking for?
Looking for.
Oh no.
All right, CGL trivia. I found a template that was corporate, so we went for it.
Wait, where is it?
No, it's in
It's in live one.
Bro.
Oh, okay.
And as with all of our buzzer situations, we will go in order of selection. Once Ray joins.
I'm in.
There he is.
Okay, the buzzer has been unlocked, so there'll be a question and answer. If you think you know the answer, just immediately buzz, and we'll go in that way. Sounds good?
Yep.
Sure.
All right. How many seasons of CGL have there been, including the current one? Joker?
14.
No.
What? Wait. No.
Dex?
15?
Correct.
I knew it was 15. Dex.
There was a
just got
season
it before me.
2.5 at
Yeah,
one
what?
point in August 2017.
I got more points than I already expected to get.
Yeah, okay. I was not here in 2017, bro. How was I supposed to know that?
Joker, none of us were.
Yeah, I was
Yeah, even.
was
Yeah.
trying college for a time. Oh,
Yes.
old.
So you would
I
think
hadn't even gotten
season
college yet.
14 would mean there's only been 14, but unfortunately, we had a season 2.5.
Ridiculous.
Apparently.
No, we
Apparently.
did. It's literally labeled as season 2.5.
Why? Okay. Why did you do this? First of all.
This was a good bait question.
I know, right?
It's
It
like
was a-
Joker. It's like when you did the who's taller than Headrammer one and put Diva, and that one was a tie.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
Now who joined our buzzer that's called the Hidden Fortnite Gamer?
Yeah.
I feel like that was Fish. I don't.
Nah, it sounds
That's
like Mara.
That's
All right, new question. Who's the original founder of CGL? Ray?
Nips.
No.
Oh.
Joker?
Oh. I thought it was. Is it? Oh my goodness, what is it? Skate? Is it Skate Action?
No.
You're not getting an answer from me.
Not gonna go with you. All right, then open floor then. Again.
How about you give us three names and we just guess?
Okay.
Let me go to the CGL server real quick.
Okay, fine. I'll list off some names. Skate, Tiffany, me, Jay, Matt, Nips.
Is
Oh,
it Jay?
I'll give it to you. Jay and Matt, primarily, yeah. Jay was the primary winner.
I was gonna guess
I was
Witty
gonna say
Calf.
Matt.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. You might. Jay's really not around anymore. Matt, neither of them are. None of the original founders are around in terms of like day-to-day operations for a very long time now. But you sometimes see Witty Calf or Matt in the server from time to time.
I'm so upset.
No, the moment you went Nips, I'm like, oh no.
No, I just needed the names. Like I kind of knew the names, but I couldn't put my mind to it. Once I heard the name, I knew that was it.
Mm-hmm. All right, next question. What was the original name of CGL?
God dang it!
Oh,
That's why
dang it.
that's why I chuckled whenever you first said that a little bit ago.
I knew-
was it still
my-
called CGL or
No,
was
it
it like
wasn't.
did it? Okay.
Oh no. Oh. Wait.
Joker.
Wasn't it like Xbox Overwatch League?
Essentially, yeah. It's pretty. It's basically this is what I was looking for.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, it was OWXL. Yep.
Yeah, Overwatch Xbox League. It was, and CGL was originally called Overwatch Xbox League for Xbox NA only. It was later at one point rebranded to OXC, Overwatch Xbox Community, because like Blizzard didn't like having the word league in people's names. And then eventually became CGL. We've had a few name changes over the years.
Nice.
All right, next question. Next question. When did I join CGL?
Wait, hold on. What are you looking for here?
What year?
You can either say year or season. Dex?
2018.
I should clarify this a minute. Year and month.
So either a season or a year and month.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say June of 2018.
No.
I believe it was season 5, right?
No.
Was it season 4?
It was season 4.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
Wow, I was right with
See,
the
the thing is, I'm
were.
just gonna put it out there. I did not think it was 5 and changed when Joker got it wrong. I thought it was 4.
Okay. If you say so, we'll tentatively believe that. But yeah, so season 4 was my first season in CGL. Joined as a player, and I played in the Diamond tier that season. Though I think it was technically Masters at the time.
So
'cause
wait,
our tiers were a good bit different then,
You were
in the
smurfing?
sense that I was not smurfing.
Guys,
Diamond tier,
heard
Diamond
it
tier,
here first.
you could be up to 3750 in Diamond tier at the time.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
But guys, you heard it here first. Headrammer smurfed in Diamond tier.
Yeah. All right, buddy. Yeah, we didn't win by the way, we didn't win fun fact, my team didn't win a single game the entire season.
So you cheated and still didn't win anything. Got it.
No. All right, next question. When did we run our first Goats tournament?
Are you looking for season? Like what year, or what are you looking for here?
Year time period. Like as in like I want the general time period. I don't need the specific month, but like the time period within the year. Right.
I'm gonna say summer of 2020.
Very good.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I was in. That was there. When did that happen? Oh, I knew. You know what? I remember it.
Teams.
Headrammer,
Yeah.
I remember it now.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, because I was gonna be a part of it. No one picked me
yeah.
up then.
Yeah, pretty different
Oh,
format
God.
to how we run our Ghost tournaments now too, because again, instead of being a weekend or 2 weekends, it was closer to a shorter season. Some of our season
Remember
stuff was
that.
then. So we had a 1.5 month Ghost tournament. It had 101 teams in it. It was pretty big at the time.
I remember that.
All right,
Hell
next
yeah.
question. What is the most amount of teams that ever played in CGL
Oh.
season, and what season was it?
It was.
I should have 3
Vulture?
points, by the way, hippie.
It was season 12, right?
So 2 seasons ago, is what you're saying?
Yeah. I don't know how many teams there was, but I know it was season 12, or I think
You need to guess the amount of teams, then if you're going to guess this. You need both.
200.
No. To both.
Really? It was one
Right?
of these recent seasons.
178, and it was season 10.
No.
Was I close?
No.
Damn.
Okay,
Can
so
I
I
just-
guess I'm last here.
Can I just,
Yeah, you gotta guess next.
Can I just say
Uh,
something first?
Season 11 and 168.
No, to both.
Okay.
Huge shout out
yes,
to Bullskunk for the raid. It was a big raid.
Oh, huge. Well, thank you.
87.
All right, did you
Holy
want to
crap.
give us the answer? I don't think we're close.
Yeah,
let's do
sure. It was
We're not getting
261 teams in season 6.
What?
Oh,
Yeah, I would have never guessed that.
Yeah, it was the largest season we ever had. And to be fair, we had like 200 plus teams for a few seasons in a row there. It was his only console. And you can see right there, season 5, the season before, we only had 55 teams.
That's crazy, bro.
I mean, Xbox NA Diamond alone, not even including the PS4 Diamond, had 40-something teams, I think.
I remember it was season 7 was huge too, right?
Yeah, I had like 250.
Yeah, I remember. Okay, yeah, okay.
To be fair, you guessed season like 12.
I should have guessed season 7.
Yeah. Okay, next question. What was the format of CGL Season 1?
What do you mean by format?
Bro.
Like, you know, it could be a bracket, it could be a league, it could be the way teams are organized together, it could
Okay,
be...
I'm gonna go for a guess. I'm gonna say it was round robin.
Not quite what I'm looking for.
Okay.
Swiss.
Joker?
Swiss stages.
No, we're leading too much into like that kind of format.
Oh.
I should have rephrased this differently. How did you enter the tournament?
Oh. Entered it?
Here, I'll reset the buzzers.
Did you have to... a qualifying tournament?
No.
Oh, wait.
Remember, think about this like season 1. It's pretty new.
Well... yeah, I think I am.
Dex, right?
Did you just have to inform whoever was in charge that I have a team and I'm entering?
No.
Okay.
Dex?
I don't know.
Sign up on the website.
We had no website at the time.
All right, what is it?
It was a draft.
Oh!
Yeah. And season 1 was a
makes
full
sense.
draft. It had, I think, 11 teams. And it was predetermined, and also had predetermined team names based off of Overwatch characters. So like one of the team's name was like Roadhog's Hookers. And then there was like Servants of Mercy or something like that as one of the one.
Mario
Fantastic.
baseball style names. I got it.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Okay.
All right. And what before Discord?
Oh
What platform did we use?
God.
For context, the CGL Discord was made in 2017.
Please tell me you guys didn't use TeamSpeak.
A Joker?
TeamSpeak.
what-
No.
Thank God.
Again, console players.
Oh.
Dex.
Right.
I
Dex.
want to say Skype, but since you're saying console, is it?
Well, I'm trying to say console is the fact that like no one's gonna be using TeamSpeak when you couldn't even like
Yeah, that's fair.
yeah. So
Xbox Live's groups or something.
No.
Got it. Cool.
I can see why you would say something like that though. Ray, any thoughts?
Right. Last
Was there like a Facebook page or something?
No, not in this context.
Okay.
Any final guesses before I reveal?
No idea.
the
No.
the Overwatch message boards.
The other Blizzard forums? No. It was a GroupMe group chat.
No way.
Damn it.
Oh
I
wow.
would never have gotten that.
I use that every day for work.
Yeah.
Never would have gotten that.
I used it in college a bunch, but then like apparently before the Discord was made, they used GroupMe.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. What was the first tournament we ran in Overwatch 2?
Oh, I know that was.
Joker?
It was the oh, goodness, it was the turkey tussle, right?
Correct. It was also the first tournament we ran with PC support.
Woo! Good job, Joker.
And I believe that's all my questions. Yeah.
Joker's on the board.
No, I had 2
No,
points.
that's 2 for Joker.
2 points.
All right. Who?
I got one more than I expected.
All right. Who won here? Looks like it looks like
won.
Ray won.
See,
A 3-2-1.
Hey,
Pretty much exactly like Dex predicted.
I predicted this. I said left to right. That's how it would go.
All right. Give Dex an extra point for predicting correctly. Accurate preds.
I'm very proud of pulling out that summer 2020 for the GOATS tournament.
You
I'm
nailed that one. I was impressed.
I'm upset I didn't get that because I wanted to play in that.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I might have participated in it. I don't remember for sure though. But congrats to me. Congrats to everyone. I think that was a fun little foray into CGL trivia, especially considering how new a lot of people are coming in, especially all the PC people we've brought in. So it's always nice to know where the roots of CGL came from. So let's go ahead and bring ourselves back to this matchup. Diamond Grand Finals. Oops All Vibes going against Queen of Diamonds. We have some pre-recorded interviews we did with the teams. Starting off with Queen of Diamonds, let's go ahead and pull that interview out.
All right, everybody. I have Hollander, one of the DPS players over here for Queen of Diamonds. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
I'm doing fine. Thank you very much for asking, but I'll ask the questions around here. And so let's just get right into it, right? Grand Finals, you guys come through a dominant upper bracket performance to get you where you are. I mean, is this the expected result? Did you really, really expect you to find yourselves there?
As a team, honestly, we did. We knew we'd have some troubles, and we knew we'd have to continue to like adapt to the meta and how things were shaking up. But we did think that as long as we played well, we would make it to finals. We did have some thoughts of maybe we go to losers, but we knew no matter what we were going to make it to finals, and we did so through the upper bracket, which is always preferred.
Always preferred, of course. Don't have to play those extra games. But like you said, you did mention the meta, right? We did have a patch very, very recently, Season 14, trying to change up the game once again here. Do you feel like it maybe has changed the strategies coming into tonight, like you said, having that adaptation? Or do you feel like it's going to be more of the same, your team's just going to rock with it, even with the patch notes changing?
I won't give too much information about exactly what we're going to run. But we are going to change some things up. We're a very adaptable team, and we like to kind of metacraft a little bit and look at what's going to be the best for each individual map that we're running. So any map that gets thrown at us, we're going to have something kind of up our sleeve to run, probably that the other team has not seen us run before, and we usually end up catching the other team off guard. And even when we do have to kind of fall back onto something that we've played a lot, we were able to come through with that as well, just with the consistency.
Hey, listen, I more than understand that. Getting to do the other interview as well. It seems like both of you guys are pretty tight-lipped about everything that's going to be played tonight. So it means that we should be in for a pretty interesting matchup. But, speaking of that matchup, seems like a very friendly sort of match. You have played against each other a lot, scrim partners, all that jazz. I mean, any kind words that you maybe want to exchange across the aisle or anything like that?
I mean, we respect Oops a lot, especially like as we're kind of like two teams that understand the need to get better by playing good competitions. So we like to play each other a lot. We like to, push each other by doing the best that we can. But obviously, there has to be a team on top. So as much as we respect Oops and want to be friends with them, tonight will not be that night, and we will have to take home what we came for, but all respect to Oops, they've made it this far, and they're a great team.
Alrighty, I mean, well, thank you for Hollander for taking the time to chat with me. Obviously, I know it's a busy day, but of course, it's always appreciated.
No problem.
And with that, we'll send it back to the desk to break down what little bit of the tidbits you might have been able to get out of that.
Sounds like both teams want to be a little hush-hush about what they're thinking coming into this patch, but, Headrammer, what did you think of that?
Yeah, I mean, teams naturally want to try to, like, hide their strategies. They kind of alluded a little bit to some potential, like, per map strats. Admittedly, sometimes when teams say that, I'm a bit skeptical, because I feel like every interview I ever watch where they say, like, oh, we have the secret strat, they never see us coming, ends up being, like, a full mirror at some point anyways. But sometimes the Diamond tier is truly one of those tiers where you can make these unique compositions work and completely take a team off guard. They mentioned how they play each other quite a lot, so that both teams have a pretty good idea of how the other team likes to play. Queen of Diamonds has been the team on top throughout the entire season, so I think it's more on Oops All Vibes to kind of come to them and, prove to everyone else that they are the ones on top instead. And Queen of Diamonds, sometimes, being on top can be a little one of those challenges, You've been on top the entire season, you haven't been pushed, and you haven't lost. To a degree, losing is a skill. You have to be able to take that mental and understand you're losing, but, come back from it. And if you haven't experienced that throughout the entire season at all, if it happens here in the grand finals, it's something that can just make you fumble and collapse.
The one thing you can say is they have been dropping more maps recently, so maybe it's been trained a little bit, but we'll go ahead and now move on to the Oops All Vibes interview.
All right, here we have Zach, one of the supports from Oops All Vibes here. Zach, how you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you for asking, Megalast.
It's amazing, of course. So let's just get right into it, right? Grand finals. You guys had a lower bracket run, Try to talk to me about how it felt to have to go through that lower bracket.
Yeah, so, we play Golden Hour, we go to map 5, we lose it really close in the end, and we start our lower bracket run, and it was like, all right, that's it. We either win here or we're going home. And, well, the vibes were good. We took a day to reset, and here we are.
Hey, listen, the vibes being immaculate, it always can help. Now, you're going up against Queen of Diamonds. This team, they won the mid-season tournament. They've looked very strong in the Diamond tier all season long. What do you think their biggest strength is, and how do you plan to sort of break it down?
Yeah, so Queen of Diamonds are pretty good friends of ours. They're good scrim partners. But their strengths really do come through their coordination, their pace of play. Going through it, I know they're going to be prepping against us. I know they've been scared to face us. And while at the end of the day we have a lot of respect for each other, the better rush team is going to win.
Ooh, the better rush. I like that. Already hinting towards what we're going with. And, like you said, with the rush being imminent and stuff, we were in Amalgameta for a long time. Do you think it's just going to be a Queen Mirror all the way through? Do you think maybe some other tanks might slip into the mix, or is that something you want to keep under wraps?
I think we are going to get into the map, and if I know Queen well enough, they're going to have pocket strategies coming right up their sleeves that they haven't really faced off against us. And I'll say this, we have some strats strats up our sleeves to pull out against them that no one else has seen yet.
Ooh, I like it. So keep everybody on their toes, something to look out for. I like that. Well, I feel bad asking this then, since you seem to be such good friends, but, maybe any friendly banter, anything you want to say, if you could, maybe have a word with somebody on that other team.
I mean, nothing but respect, nothing but love to all those players. But at the end of the day, if the vibes are going in our favor and we want to win, we have a team full of people that have chips already to our name. We're looking to add one more.
I like it. The confidence is there. Well, I'll go ahead and thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me, Zach. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
And we'll send it down to the desk to, maybe break down all that juicy information.
Still some more sneaky strategies that Headrammer is always going to be skeptical about. I'll go ahead and bring it to Dexatron on this one. I mean, what were the thoughts you thought about that?
I mean, both teams are talking about, having stuff that neither team has necessarily seen. I love that these teams have a lot of respect for each other, that they're scrim partners. And so that always makes a matchup like this a little bit more interesting, because you probably know each team is holding something back, especially with this patch coming in here. And like we saw there from Zach, he talked about being a little bit, or the better rush team would win out in the end. It's going to be very interesting to see if that's going to be the case, though. We feel like rush will be the go-to for the majority of the maps, but we talked about it a little bit. We could see dive, we could see something completely different as well. It's just gonna be interesting to see these two teams go at it, because like Headrammer said with Queen of Diamonds, they've been at the top all season long. Maybe they're getting a little bit too comfortable up there. While Oops All Vibes, they had to make this run in the losers bracket to get back to this point. And like Zach said, everyone has a chip already. They're looking to find another one.
Yeah, for Queen of Diamonds, it's always tough being the hunted instead of the hunter a lot of the times. And coming in to this matchup with Oops All Vibes, I mean, they're talking about who's going to be the better rush team, but maybe that does happen. But I always like to say, you can say everything that you think is going to happen, but it's in boxing, you never know what's going to happen until you get hit in the face, and then things can completely change. So let's see how that goes. So we'll go ahead and transition to take a look at the lineups for these teams. We'll start with Queen of Diamonds. Joker, talk about it.
We've got Reverts, Hollander on the DPS line, Cloud Lemon manning that tank there. It's Vert and Xerneas coming in as well on the support line. Like you said earlier, Cloud Lemon really good at those dive tanks. We'll be interested to see how they get to it right. We'll see if that can really help them in the line, because if they can do a serviceable Orisa or Mauga, it's going to be really beneficial if Oops All Vibes decides to take them off of that eventually.
Only time will tell to see what compositions we get as we're getting closer and closer to the matchup. So let's go ahead, transition to the Oops All Vibes lineup. Mr. Bossman, what you thinking about this lineup?
I mean, look, we got Parasite, Laggy Puppy, Ghostface, Zack, and Log. I mean, we've been seeing this team lately a little bit on a roll. They lost in the first round of the losers bracket and have run it pretty much the entire way through, all the way back up now to the grand finals. I mean, we're sounding like we're getting a little bit of a San Francisco Shock type run on ourselves now. We've knocked them down, we've made them angry, and I mean, this is sometimes what you need. Some teams really prefer to be in the losers bracket and come up to the winners than coming on the winner side. You get more. You have to play more games. You get more practice. You refine and make yourself better. And I mean, there's been no signs of stopping from this roster.
Looking forward to that. Before we get into this matchup, we have one final thing to go over, which is going to be the Preds, baby. The Preds, the most important, most anticipated part to see how right and how wrong the desk do be. Starting off with me, I have been watching Queen of Diamonds this whole season ever since, we had some funny business as the midseason tournament was coming around, and, they were so nice, and they actually won the midseason tournament without ever being on stream, but a couple of their players were streaming. I tuned into it, and I've been keeping an eye on them since. They're a very talented team. I feel like the domination continues. They're going to win this 4-1.
Okay, it's a pretty dominant victory, you think?
Oh yeah, I think they're gonna try and end this quickly. They know the team pretty well, and I think they know they don't want to have to get into a dogfight with them. The quicker they end it, the better.
Okay. Well, let me tell you about my Pred, Ray. The correct prediction.
The one that actually matters.
Yeah, that actually matters. I predicted a 4-3. I do think Queen of Diamonds will win the series. I mean, they've been on top the entire series, season for a reason. But at the same time, Oops All Vibes is scrim partners with this team. They've been making that run to the losers bracket. I absolutely feel like they can take it to Queen of Diamonds and force them and potentially make them bleed. I do think Oops will win, but I really hope the series will be as close as I'm hoping.
Alrighty, so Headrammer predicting a long night for all of us. Joker made some very ominous comments at the beginning. Let's see if he backs up that anonymous comments. Ominous.
I went 4-2. Oops All Vibes, baby. Let's go. I am here for the upset. I'm here for it. I love this Oops All Vibes team, and I think they are going to take this finals by storm. And hey, Megalass is saying that the streets are speaking to her again, saying 4-2 to Oops All Vibes. So the last time the streets spoke to Megalass, she was right, and now they're speaking to her again. So I think I got this. I think I got this in my back pocket already.
Actually, her last pred from the streets was actually wrong. We asked her on a random SNO matchup that she wasn't on, and she actually, it was actually wrong the last time. So, but generally the streets have been correct, but the last time it was wrong. Just to clarify there. Dex, is Joker on an island here, or are you splitting us down the middle on the desk?
Nope, Joker is on an island here. And one thing, this Queen of Diamonds team, perfect so far in the regular season, perfect in that midseason tournament, perfect so far in this playoff here as well. And I think they wrap it up here tonight with a perfect season. Perfection is very hard to come by in this team. Yeah, they've dropped a couple maps here, more than what they probably expected to in this playoff run so far, especially when you look at the regular season for them. But I think that gave them a little bit of a wake-up call, especially that 3-2 winners final against Golden Hour. I think that was a huge wake-up call for them here. Oops All Vibes, they are coming in with a chip on their shoulder. They will be able to make this an interesting series, but at some point, this Queen of Diamonds team is just going to flip a switch, and Oops All Vibes, I don't think it's going to be ready for it.
Well, there you have it, folks. We got 3 for the side of Queen, so we got Joker on feeling his vibes, going for Oops All Vibes on his island, partying it out. We're going to have to see if those predictions reign true for any of us, since we all have different score lines, and we could totally just get a totally different score line as well. So
It's
with
impossible.
that being said, we are 10 minutes over the start time. So we're going to go ahead and throw it to our casters, which are right here on the desk. Joker and Dexatron, go ahead and take it away and give us a great grand finals.
This is the first time here.
I don't know who those two people are.
I don't know who those people are. The talent has arrived, right, Dex? I am maybe to call us talent is saying a lot, right? That's a spit in the face to all the talented people in the world, right? I'm excited for this series here, Dex. This should be a fun one. And interestingly enough, we're not starting where every series starts on. We're starting on Antarctic Peninsula?
Hey, I mean, this is something that Queen of Diamonds talked about here a little bit, and throwing some different stuff out there, seeing if Oops All Vibes be ready for it. Antarctic Peninsula, it doesn't necessarily shock me that we're going here, but it is a first small curveball coming in here. You know, that change up, that four-seamer, just to try to get that the batter, you know, kind of off guard here for a brief moment. And Oops All Vibes gonna have to respond to it pretty quickly here. But like every other control map in this game, Antarctic Peninsula does offer a lot of different variety here when it comes to composition, especially with it being a new patch, as we were talking about all desk long. We could see a lot of different stuff come out here, and especially being in this diamond tier, we could be seeing a lot of other stuff because of that. This is gonna be a really fun map here between these two to get the ball rolling here in this grand finals.
Yeah, and we're talking around what the meta is right now. Obviously, it hasn't changed drastically, Dex, since because the Overwatch team doesn't know how to nerf Juno. So right, we're still in this Juno Brig meta. Orissa's made their way into, obviously, back into meta. It's either Malga or Orissa, right? Malga or Orissa, whatever is going to be meta at the time. And Sojourn seem to make their way back into the limelight as well. Speaking of which, what's the difference? Why does no one ever stand in the lemon light in Dexatron?
What?
Like, you know how there's the limelight. What about the lemon light?
The lemon light kills you.
Oh, it does? What? I'm so confused now.
yeah. No, I meant to do that to you. But, I mean, as we head in here, this is going to be, like I said, a very, very interesting map. Both these teams you talked about, potentially seeing the Malga or the Orissa. But watching Calling All Heroes and watching a lot of the Face It League stuff going on, yeah, we have seen those tanks, but we've also seen a wide variety of tanks. And right now, this is a great time, in my opinion, because we can run so much different stuff, not necessarily knowing what is hard meta yet. Yeah, we kind of know that Malga's still going to be strong. The Brig Juno is still going to be there. But this has been something I've been seeing a lot from Face It and Calling All Heroes. The Lucio's coming back into play, and especially when we look at Queen of Diamonds, you have the Kiriko as well. I love seeing that back here. That support line, that DPS line is all kind of up in the air at the moment, and I love seeing it. Looks like each team's gonna be coming out here with a Malga, but if you look at Oops All Vibes, in my opinion, that's a team that wants to get in your face, while Queen of Diamonds, they're okay kind of poking and prodding around for a brief moment before Reverts follows up on a Cloud Lemon dive-in. It's going to be very, very fun to watch here. And Joker, we're underway.
We are underway indeed, Dexatron, and both teams already showing the actually an interesting backline here. Not what I was expecting at all. No Juno, no Brig to be seen. But right now, Oops All Vibes are taking position away from Queen of Diamonds, forcing them back, forcing positioning out from them now. And they are going to be able to take first point capture, but well, no picks have happened quite just yet, so can't really say anyone's won this team fight quite just yet. But now, Oops All Vibes is going in. There's the finishing blow on the Hollander there with the focusing beam. They are going to find picks in response, though. Ghostface is down. Now Cloud Lemon finding Log as well. And it just seems to be Laggy, Puppy, and Parasite left on the point, and they're going to go down. The point's going to flip quickly back over to Queen of Diamonds.
Yeah, and like I kind of said, Oops All Vibes, they're that comp they're running. They want to get in your face very quickly. Queen of Diamonds, they're okay poking, prodding around. They want you to come into it, especially because Revert's on this Reaper. But one thing I want to talk about with this Oops All Vibes lineup we have here, Parasite, Laggy Puppy. They will carry this team a long way. We saw it in the lower bracket run. They popped off. Ghostface was also there, also did an incredible job as well. But really, in my opinion, Laggy Puppy and Parasite have to help their team out a lot here in the early parts of the series to get them going.
There they go in. There's the copy in from Parasite. But now, ooh, oh my goodness, so many people are low on both of these teams. Who's going to find the first pick? The trades are there. Both Kirikos are down, but quickly back. Cloud Lemon is gone. Hollander found 2 in that fight, though. There's still a chance, right? Laggy Puppy on the point. The dash through, taking down Vert, but Hollander still on the point. Vert's is going to get taken down. And now, Ghostface is back from spawn, and it looks like, yeah, Oops All Vibes are taking back the point.
And what did I say? That DPS line is going to be there all night for Oops All Vibes. This might be one of the scariest DPS lines in the Diamond tier, especially in this lower bracket one. They have really popped off. But you look at Queen of Diamonds here, they're about to have all 5 ultimates ready to go. Oops All Vibes about to have the other 4 that they had here. Parasite used that dupe to really help them engage quickly there into that last fight. I love the play that we saw there from them and Ghostface. But now, Queen of Diamonds, I expect them to play fast here, so watch out for that Consumer Rush very early on.
Yeah, Queen of Diamonds have everything right now, Dex. This is the perfect chance to get back into this, right? But now they're going to have to worry about it. Overclock from Hollander, looking to click some heads, but everyone's really out of line of sight for the moment. Now the vibe goes in, and Log and Parasite are down already, and Ghostface is going to invest. No way they invest the Dragon Blade as well into this. What are they doing, Dex?
A slight mistake here early on from Oops All Vibes, and I'm gonna say this is something that we kind of saw from them in their lower bracket run as well. Sometimes they would use ultimates in not necessarily the best of times, that being one of them right there. But look, Queen of Diamonds, they won that fight only using 2 of their ultimates. They still have a cage, they still have a beat, and most importantly, they still have a Death Blossom here, which might be used to force out that beat on the other side from Log. Zach, though, they have that Consumer Rush ready to go, and we've seen Oops All Diamonds want to play fast and pass, and they're doing that right here.
Oh, wow!
Goodness.
Revert finds 4 with the Death Blossom. That was just damage overload from Queen of Diamonds.
And that's the thing with this Queen of Diamonds comp, especially with Reverts on this Reaper. They know whenever that Consumer Rush comes out from Zach, Oops All Vibes wants to go aggressively. So, Queen of Diamonds, they have that Death Blossom sitting right there for it. The cage as well just allowed Reverts to stay alive. And now, if you're Oops All Vibes, you have this beat. And now you're going to use it here just to try to get something going for it.
Yeah, they're going to be able to sustain on the point for the moment. You need to be able to take down that support. You need to get Xerneas out, but Paris goes down. It was so close to a pick of their, to an ult of their own. The trades are there. Hollander needs to be taken out here from Queen of Diamonds if they want to have a shot at holding this now. Just been on a solo mission, hard carrying throughout this series, but Ghostface is so low. The healing's there, but Cloud Lemon takes him out, and there it might be the end of it. Laggy Puppy's still there on the point, though, but Cloud Lemon ever strong with the Gatling guns on the point, looking to clear house, looking to finish it strong. But hey, the point's gonna flip over to Oops All Vibes, and now things are looking a little bit better, especially if Parasite can get a pick here, but it's probably not gonna happen.
Yeah, honestly, if you're Queen of Diamonds, you wait for this duplicate to go away. That was, I understand why Parasite used it there, but they need to hold on to it for a little bit longer. You only have the blade now if you're Oops All Vibes. When you look at Queen of Diamonds, they're coming up on a lot here. They need their supports to build to their ultimates fast, because those will be the things that really win them this fight and this point.
There comes the overclock in from Hollander. Now they're just focusing them out, pressing them back. Now they've got an opportunity. Dragon Blade, though, comes in. Cloud Lemon finding Parasite. Hollander is getting forced away, but Cloud Lemon's able to do all that they need in the front line with that cage fight. Now the double support ultimates coming in to seal the deal on round 1 of Antarctica Peninsula.
Hey, and what did I say? Those supports, they need to build those ultimates pretty quickly there for Queen of Diamonds, because if they did, it would win them the fight and win them the point, and did just that. Yeah, they had a lot of help there from that cage and that overclock, really disrupting how Oops All Vibes wanted to play that final fight. I liked what they did there. Each time that Hollander used that overclock, they just hid behind that small kind of high ground on the other side, forcing Hollander to either come into them or just stay where they were. And just look at the stats here. That was a very, very close round, but when you look at the stats, it's anything but
crazy,
close.
bro.
This is kind of what I feel like this entire series is going to be. Oops All Vibes is definitely a team that is resilient through a lot of fights where they shouldn't honestly last as long as they do, but they are a team that will be able to last a lot longer than what you expect. Queen of Diamonds, though, we saw how they played that first point, and like I said, this is a comp that doesn't really want to go in first, wants the other team to go in first. But with Laggy Puppy going over now to this Reaper, you're going to kind of see it mellow out here a little bit, where each team is kind of going to wait for that Malga on the other side to go charging in so the Reapers can find a lot of value.
The slam already in from Cloud Lemon, but wow, Zach already taken down here. Not what you wanted to see. Dex, if you are Oops All Vibes fan, this is a clean fight for Queen of Diamonds.
Yeah, and I mean, it really helped that you got rid of one of the supports there for Oops All Vibes first, and now look at what Oops All Vibes is doing here, bringing out the Queen. This is something that I thought we would see throughout the night. We did talk about it a little bit. I didn't necessarily expect to see it on this map. Honestly, I would have expected to see it on the last point. But if Ghostface can land hooks on to, say, someone like Hollander, someone like Cloudland, just force them a little bit away from their team, that's going to really help out their DPS line to get rid of them early. And Hollander and Cloudlemon have been doing a lot so far here for Queen of Diamonds.
They have been doing so much, right? Now they go into this fight. Ghostface is looking to get some value already. Focusing him around. Cloud Lemon very low. Going to get some carnage, get some damage, getting ticked away. The Blade going to be the one to take them out now, though. Reverts is going to be in the back line, try to force out Ghostface, but it doesn't look like they're going to really be able to. Oh, maybe they are. They are indeed with a Hellfire shotgun to the dome, but it looks like they're the only one left on point for Queen of Diamonds.
Yeah, but Revert's finding two there at the end was so big for a Queen of Diamonds, because now, I mean, the spawns are, basically kind of the same here, but you can come back a little bit quicker and try to force a fight very early on. But look at Ghostface, 57% on that Rampage. Cloudlemon's only sitting at about 70, so they made the swap and have basically kind of matched now that ult charge here for Queen of Diamonds' tank. But you look at the ultimates that are about to be online. Death Blossom early here for Laggy Puppy. They could use this pretty soon and try to catch Queen of Diamonds off guard to even up that map score.
Yeah, they could. Hollander getting focused out, getting forced away, but now the Kitsune Rush coming online. In response, there goes Zax. Death Blossom in from reverse, but a nice boop away. Zac does go down. Point flips over. Sound Barrier coming in now. This is a chance they can come back into this. They have a Death Blossom of their own, but now log is so very low. There's probably not really a chance to invest it, especially if Ghostface goes down here. It looks like they are. They're getting chased out. Commanding Shout trying to stay alive, but it's not going to matter. Vert takes them down. The point stays in Queen of Diamonds' favor.
And I mean, Queen of Diamonds, they did everything right there. They used two ultimates to their advantage. Oops All Vibes did the exact same thing, but I feel like Laggy Puppy holding on to that Death Blossom was not the right thing to do. Each team was kind of playing very aggressively into each other. Yeah, we saw a nice boop come out to make sure Revert's Death Blossom didn't find anything, but that would have been a perfect opportunity for Laggy to go. But Cage is already out here.
Cage out and two are gone. Dax, this is already looking to be over. However, a huge rampage in response. It was going to get cleansed up, and now EMP, or not Sound Barrier on the point. Nothing really doing, though. It looks like Queen of Diamonds are taking the, well, maybe not yet. Oh, wow. Okay, nice boop comes in late. Queen of Diamonds take map number 1.
Yeah, and I mean, they didn't make any swaps. They knew how they wanted to play this, and Oops All Vibes kind of played it in their hand all the time. They want to play this Malga comp a little bit differently. Yeah, we heard from Oops All Vibes' player Zach, or Captain Zach, that they said the best rush team would win out in the end, and the best rush team that first map was Queen of Diamonds. Yeah. I mean, yeah, they weren't necessarily playing it as true to rush as you would normally expect, but they were just kind of baiting Oops All Vibes to come into them. And again, you look at the stats here. We talked about after that first point, they looked completely different compared to how close that first point was. Now, they look kind of what we expected to see them here after that second point, where there is a huge difference. And you can immediately point out one there being Reverts and Parasite. Just the insane amount of death difference there is kind of astounding for a first map there. It's something that you cannot allow your DPS to be doing here, but there is one kind of back and forth I want to be staring at here. It's Reverts and Laggy Puppy, the ones that ended up playing the Reapers at the end for both of their squads here. I mean, Joke, you look at the stats across the board. Reverts played that Reaper the entire time. Laggy Puppy only played that second point, but still, the difference across them, just in how they played, 30, basically almost 31 eliminations per 10 there is insane. It's all across the board right there. And again, that death counter that I kind of touched on with the other DPS there for Oops All Vibes. It makes a big difference in how each team was playing. And the fact that we were always seeing Oops All Vibes down 1 DPS very early on every fight really did hurt them there.
Yeah, it's not looking good for him right now, obviously. The prediction might be looking bad for me right now, but a lesser man. Oh yeah, it's only one map, right? And it's control. No one cares about control. We can throw that away right now. We go into the real game modes, right? Like Flashpoint, Flashpoint, Hybrid, Push, Escort. That's where we have opportunities to go next. And it looks like we're headed to a little Escort map. We're headed to Nepal. We're headed to Shambhala Monastery.
And this is something we touched on the desk. The fact that because we have this open kind of map pool and you can go to any game mode you want after controlling the first map, it's going to give us a great opportunity to see what kind of compositions each of these teams want to play. But heading over to Shambhala, we talked about a little bit, both these teams, we talked about them both being dive, but it sounds like they both want to be kind of rushy in this series here. This one, though, in my opinion, you can play the Rush, you can play the Malga that we saw, you can play the Queen, but I always look at it more as a poke map, especially for that first point because of the high grounds. But after that, it becomes something more closer to what we saw on Antarctic Peninsula. So Oops All Vibes bringing us here for a reason, and it might just be because they want to try to do something a little bit different, get Queen of Diamonds, off their comfort zone there of that first map. Because like I said, Queen of Diamonds didn't make any swaps between maps. The characters they started on were the characters they ended on.
Could be Ramatra.
Yeah, we could see Ramatra. I just don't necessarily know if Ramatra right now is a good pick. Still very strong, but I just feel like you're kind of doing a lot on your own. You need your supports right there always behind you, not allowing that DPS line to do enough to find a lot of value so that Ramatra can get going.
You know what I'm seeing here, what I'm viewing with my eyes, with my binoculars there in our lower side of our screen there, I'm seeing a substitute, Mr. Dexatron. And if we remember the substitute from the last time we casted this game, he came in, he kind of put everyone on notice. We're having a substitute for Oops All Vibes, Strider, coming in for the DPS line.
Strider coming in for the DPS line. And I mean, this is one thing we didn't talk about with these two teams. Deep teams on both sides, 10 players for each of them here. So we could see a lot of subs throughout the night, very situational picks. And like you said, we saw Strider for one map the last time that we casted this Queen of Diamonds team, and they looked incredible for it. Then they came out and you saw their other DPS go right back in. So this is be something that is a strategic move, especially for this map. You want something a little bit more hit scanny. Yeah, we did see that from them, or we did see that from the DPS line there in that first map, but this is a more definite player for that hit scan coming in right now. Strider, I expect to be great here for them. I also believe, did we have a sub for Oops All Vibes? Was Xerneas in that first map?
Xerneas was in on. Okay, they haven't swapped the names on our thing yet. So yeah, Xerneas was on for Queen of Diamonds. Here's the substitutes there as we see Strider coming in for the hit scan role. Really good on hit scan. Might be looking to play that Sojourn like we were talking about. Looked really good for Hollander. Maybe we see that come out. Maybe they play more of a traditional hit scan. Widowmaker could work. Ash as well. I like the sight lines for Ash, like the engagement areas for the Ash, just because of the dynamite as well.
Yeah, Widowmaker, I feel like, is always such a hit or miss pick. If you're not finding headshots very early on, you're not really helping your team out. Ash makes a lot more sense. You have the dynamite there, does a decent amount of dot damage, especially if you're going to be running the Malga. You immediately get that mini crit off of the the burn from the dynamite, so Ash would be the one I would expect to see here. But it's gonna be really interesting to see what these two teams want to come out with when we go in here eventually. Will it be the poke? Will it be kind of what we saw last map, where it's gonna be Malga for the most part? Oops All Vibes did show us a Junker Queen. It didn't necessarily look the best in the short amount of time that we actually saw it, but Joker, this is Oops All Vibes map pick here. It is a best of 7, so first to 4, but you don't want to get too far behind the 8 ball here early on. Going down 0-2 would definitely hurt this team.
Look at that. Oh my goodness. Look at those cinematics from our fantastic observer team, Dexatron. Goodness.
Yeah.
Looking good. Looking spicy so far. And that's why we pay them the big bucks, right? We got the 4-man observer team for this. Crazy. And I'm really excited to see how Oops All Vibes are looking to defend this. I don't hate it. I don't love it either, but I don't hate it, Dexatron.
I don't hate it. And honestly, I probably like it a lot more than you do because of how Queen of Diamonds' support line is looking. There's no Kiriko there at the moment. So Ghostface playing this Sigma, an accretion onto Cloud Lemon, followed up by an anti-nade onto them, basically melts them down if they cannot get out. So I like this if you can hit that combo consistently. And Laggy Puppy coming out on the Junkrat, not necessarily a pick I expected to see tonight, but still, you have traps that could do a lot. Ooh, that's an interesting late swap there from Cloud Lemon going over to the Winston.
It'll be difficult, though. It's still going to be difficult because they are kind of running anti-dive, right? So this is gonna be a little scary for Cloud Lemon. It would be a lot more scary if Laggy Pup or Strider was on the Reaper, but it's still very scary to make this work.
Yeah, I think this first fight is going to tell us a lot here. If Queen of Diamonds can get through this, they're in a good spot. If they can't, I would expect to see swaps very, very quickly.
Oh, Laggy Puppy taking Hollander down immediately. There's the jump in onto the backline, though. And Cloud Lemon is going to find Zach out, which was not what I was expecting at all, right? That's a huge Winston counter. Now, Cloud Lemon does go get taken down by the concussion mines of Laggy Puppy. And looks like, Queen of Diamonds, they're going to rethink some things.
Yeah, they're going to fall back here. Without Cloud Lemon, there's not enough space they can really take. They're going to stick on the Winston, which I'm okay with. I know I just said they would probably be swapping off, but sticking on the Winston here, you want to try it again. You got rid of Zag. That dive did work the first time. You just didn't have any follow-up because Hollander got taken out by Laggy Puppy. And like I said back in first map, this DPS line for Oops All Vibes will carry them through a lot of their team fights. Ghostface on the Sigma will be able to help them out a little bit more than what we saw from them in that first map on the Malga and the Junker Queen. But right now, you see Oops All Vibes slowly starting to back away while Ghostface still trying to frontline it up there.
Yeah, Laggy Puppy is, okay. Laggy Puppy's going to get taken down. Reverts, who's on the Sojourn this time now. Hollander in the back line looking to take down. They do take down Log now. Everyone falling down around them here. And this is a good opening for Queen of Diamonds.
Absolutely. Finding Strider would be even better here, but those shurikens were kind of missing there. Laggy Puppy, though. Like, losing Laggy Puppy first really did hurt Oops All Vibes. That's a lot of spam damage. That's a lot of close range damage that you want to try to get out early. I like Cloud Lemon going over to the Sigma as well. It gives them about the same pressure here. Those accretions can do a lot. The shields are there for both sides, but still, I'm looking here for this DPS on, and especially Log on this Ana to be doing a lot here. I don't think they hit any bio nades the first time. They need to land a huge one here.
They do. They need to keep Ghostface up and healthy here. That's the big thing right now. Oh, my goodness. They're juking and jiving, staying alive somehow. Now they have to go into this. Now the overclock coming in. There's the nano boost on to Strider. There's the Flux in, but Reverts is going to find 2 picks. And now the Gravitic Flux wasn't going to be able to find anything. They do lose the point. They do find Reverts in the end, though. But it's again, it's just going to be a consolation prize because you lost the point already.
You used 3 ultimates too. You wanted that Bob to be on the point to stall it out. You were really hoping Ghostface would not get taken out mid-flux. And look, Queen of Diamonds, they used 1 ultimate. They only used the overclock. They're going to have Blade. They're going to have Rally. They're going to have Orbital. And most importantly, they're going to have the Flux here. They could combo 1 or 2 of those very quickly to easily win a team fight. But Ghostface finding Hollander out early will slow them down because that Blade is going to be there just to get rid of that Rally from the other side.
Huge, right? Now they can make space, get back to where they need to be. Maybe get some late staggers, and the Riptire is going to come in if they could find something with it, and they do. They almost find Hollander again as Ghostface gets the cleanup on a Cloud Lemon.
And this is a very interesting place to hold the point. It's not up the hill. You can't go around. You're just going to be taking time. You have to basically walk through the path the cart has to go here. And even with Oops All Vibes being down in that ultimate economy, them winning that first fight there really does help them out. But Queen of Diamonds, you have 4 ultimates here. You can kind of take this one a little bit slower. Try to, you know, bait out something from the other side. Doesn't have to be an ultimate. It just has to be something like, say, an accretion, say a sleep. But it looks like they want to go fast.
Yeah, Orbital Ray is going to come in here. It's completely in the back there for the moment, but hey, maybe it'll work as a sleep dart of sleep darts on Hollander there. Might have saved the day for the moment, as it's completely flipped on its head right now. We've got Queen of Diamonds attacking like they're defending right now, and, well, Oops All Vibes doing the opposite, as they're going to try to hold it out. There's the Nano Boost onto Ghostface, though. This is a perfect chance to really take this back. The Fox is going to come in on to the remaining members of Queen of Diamonds. They do lose a laggy puppy, but, well, it's going to still be Oops All Vibes with control.
Yeah, but here's the biggest thing about that. Oops All Vibes had 1 ultimate going into that fight. Queen of Diamonds had 4. Queen of Diamonds threw all 4 ultimates out at once and didn't find anything. A lot of that was because Log did sleep Hollander when they popped that blade. That was a huge pick to get out early. The Orbital Ray really struggled to find value. The rally from Burt didn't really do a lot either, and the flux from Cloud Lemon was a kind of a miss there from them. Oops All Vibes is now in a very, very good spot because, yeah, they had to use some ultimates towards the end of that fight to really help them win it. But, I mean, you're closer to a couple of your own ultimates. You have to make sure that reverts, though, cannot pop off with this overclock. We've seen them do it already once before. You know they're itching to do it again.
They are indeed. Again, the places have swapped decks. So, again, taking a little bit more defensive positioning is Queen of Diamonds at the moment. Strider, though, has the Deadeye available, but Revert's finding a log early on. The overclock now coming through. Finding 1, finding 2. Make it 3. No, Xerneas steals it away as Laggy Puppy goes down there late.
And if you are Oops All Vibes, you're completely fine with that because that car was pushed back so far that you can still get out here and contest it, but you have to win a fight pretty quickly here now because you look at Queen of Diamonds, they're building up to those 4 ultimates that they used all at once a couple fights ago. Well, they're about to have them all ready to go again. The only thing you have is a Deadeye. Laggy going over to this Pharah is going to be interesting because Revert's, like we just saw, really good at shooting those railgun shots.
Yeah, really good, but again, you only get that up every so often. It is still a projectile until that rail shot, right? But we'll see. The Deadeye is still up and ready for Strider. Is it going to be used for zoning? Is it going to be used to reload? We'll have to see, as Strider's already getting focused out here. Orbital Ray on the point, but a nice anti-nade there comes in. But the point is going to go to Queen of Diamonds with the cleanup now coming through.
And if you're Oops All Vibes, considering how well you did on that defense there, that right after they capped point A, you're kind of feeling a little bit let down there. You almost got them down to overtime, and I mean, right now you see a minute 20 on the clock for them. A couple ultimates about to be online for Queen of Diamonds. Oops All Vibes, though. You are about to have 4 Laggy Puppies not far away from getting their barrage. They cannot use them all at once here. They have to be smart with their ultimates, and Ghostface right now is controlling the pace of this game a lot here, something that Zach kind of talked about. They want to be able to control that. They need to do it here right now. Just slowing down Queen of Diamonds. They need to win a fight here. That's a huge ante. Huge
ante indeed, and Reverts is going to go down because Deadeye is going to come through. There's the pick. No picks coming in, and Hollanders are going to find the log out. Rally did get invested by Zach to stop Hollander from getting more value, which is huge right now. Trying to build up to this barrage is Laggy Puppy at the moment. The ground and Pharah doing its work, doing some damage, but still no picks coming in quite just yet. Barrage available now comes through, and it's going to take down Cloud Lemon, but the trade is there. Hollander finds that pick. They need to find Hollander. They do. The shot comes true from Strider, stunning him up. Perhaps no. Reverts is going to go juking and jiving and taking him down in the end. Reverts is still very low. They are going to get taken down by Log, and 10 seconds are remaining.
And you look at Oops All Vibes. They don't have any ultimates ready to go very early on. Reverts has their overclock. We saw what they did last time with it. I would expect them to try to do the same thing here again. Xerneas not that far away from another Orbital Ray. If you're a smart Queen of Diamonds, you have Xerneas just kind of sit back for a moment, have Cloud Lemon absorb a lot of damage, heal them up, and then go in with your 2 ultimates knowing you have a huge advantage here very early on.
Yeah, this is the you have the advantage. This is your map to complete now with the overclocked laggy puppy down, and now Strider falls down as well. Ghostface joining them here. Now, is there going to be a chance for a last-second contest, or maybe not? It looks too close to get that last-second contest as Queen of Diamonds are able to roll it to the end.
Yeah, and again, oops, all vibes. It seemed like they kind of knew they were getting better as that round went on. They were stopping Queen of Diamonds consistently. But what was the one thing I said going into that first fight after Queen of Diamonds cap point B? They were both coming up to a lot of ultimates. They could not all dump them out at once. Oops, all vibes had 4. They dumped them all out in one fight, putting them behind the 8 ball. But you look at the stats there. It's Vert. Didn't die.
Yeah.
Did not die. That is impressive here, but this is a much closer round than what we saw compared to map point 1 to point 2 on Antarctic Peninsula. This is kind of what I expected from the attacking and defending team, especially when the attacking team gets all the way to the end. They have a little less deaths, but Oops All Vibes did do a really great job making sure that that time bank that Queen of Diamonds has is basically nothing. And you see it right there. It's 0. All Oops All Vibes has to do is just complete the map. It doesn't matter if they complete it with time. Queen of Diamonds is still going to get a chance to attack anyway. You want to complete it, though, with a little bit of more time so you give yourself a good opportunity. And you're attacking second, much like you are right now. But coming out of the gate, Zarya, not necessarily a character I expected to see, but a character I have been seeing a little bit more recently. And it's mostly just to kind of counter out the other side, especially when you expect them to run something like an Orisa, something like a Diva. But running that Winston, it's going to be very interesting to see what they necessarily do into it. I think Oops All Vibes is actually in a really good spot right now if they go in on this quickly.
Big news coming in from our stats lead right now, Head Rammer. Reverts technically has a deadlift at the moment. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, so there's the deadlift happening right now. So we'll have to keep an eye on that, can see if we can continue that and finish the map with that deadlift. But for right now, Oops All Vibes trying to match the Winston, at least for now.
Yeah, and Oops All Vibes playing it slow, but going back to Reverts, yeah, they're absolutely deadlifting at the moment, but it looks like Oops All Vibes wants to go.
They are going to go in, but Ghostface is down. They could find another pick, though. No, Hollander is going to get a pick onto Log, so the reset's going to have to come in from Oops All Vibes.
And if you're Oops All Vibes, you're not that far into this map yet. I think right now would be a good time for you to make that swap off the Winston. I think the bubbles that Cloud Lemon's going to be able to provide to those supports or whoever they decide to dive on is just going to be a little bit too much for them to deal with here. You see Strider making a swap over to the Tracer just to kind of help out. Okay, Widowmaker. Well, Joker, you did say we would see a Widowmaker, but again, what did I say about it? Very hit or miss. If you're not finding those picks very early on, you're really kind of hurting your team because you're not going to be able to do enough here, especially with your team, for the most part, running a little bit of a dive comp, even though there's no good follow-up here from that DPS line. It's Ghostface having to play very, very cautiously at the moment.
Double hit scan. There's this shot comes in. Xerneas almost goes down, almost found that headshot, but Hollander is there to follow up on the kill. And like you said, I mean, especially with okay, wow, a nice counter comes in from Queen of Diamonds there, and is just going to be able to take them unawares, and the team kill comes through.
Half your time's gone right now if you're Oops All Vibes. Remember, this was your map pick. You had an idea coming into it, and so far, I mean, I would say that defensive round was probably what you were wanting for it. Yeah, you would have loved to stop Queen of Diamonds, but you see him now making this swap. Looks like Queen is going to basically be their fallback tank here for them, and they need to find some value here very early on with it. They need to find a pick, because especially when you look at that DPS line for Queen of Diamonds, you could see a Blade, and more importantly, you could see another Overclock come out here from Reverts this fight, and we've seen what they've been able to do in the past.
The big thing is, right, Cloud Lemon, okay, now it's going to get a card. Stopping Reverts has already found Ghostface out of the fight. The shot's just coming in that short room, just not going to be able to hide as Strider goes down. Laggy Puppy quickly afterwards, and Log not too far behind. This is not good at all for Oops All Vibes.
Yeah, not at all. And again, Reverts continuing their deadlift here. And again, another great overclock from them, finding two and a third one quickly after it. And look at Queen of Diamonds now. 4 ultimates about to be on the board, less than a minute. Oops All Vibes, because of the constant swaps, and especially the swaps they had very recently, they're gonna have a Deadeye. That's about it, though. If you're Oops All Vibes, you want to take a quick fight here, because no matter what, you could be staring down the barrel of final fight if you take this one slow.
You need to take it, and you need to take it now. Ghostface already low, gonna heal up. There's the Dragon Blade. There's the Graviton Surge, and there's the cleanup from Queen of Diamonds yet again. Strider gonna get that lone kill. The thing that does not matter in the end, because it's 20 seconds to go, and Oops All Vibes are at a heavy disadvantage.
Queen of Diamonds, this has been something that I've been watching all series long, their ultimate usage. They've had one time where they use maybe a little bit too much. They have both their support ultimates here. That is by far enough to win you a fight here, especially with the ultimates that they are. Your Oops All Vibes, though, you have to go fast, and you have ultimates ready to go.
Right in, Revert's found a pick already, and this is the beginning of the end. All the picks come through. Overtime ticks away. Queen of Diamonds are up 2-0.
Up 2-0, and Joker, let's be honest with ourselves here. I thought maybe Oops All Vibes figured something out on that defensive side. They were really slowing down Queen of Diamonds, but Queen of Diamonds came back on their own defensive round and shut down Oops All Vibes, and we talked about it here. Our stats guy, or the man in charge, told us that Reverts was deadlifting. Well, they get played the game, and they basically kind of controlled how that entire map was played there at the end. They were all over the place. You look at the stats here. Yeah, you see the deadlift right there. 42 kills on their own. I'm going to take a guess that's a lot more than the entirety of Oops All Vibes combined. And you see it right there as well. Everyone double-digit deaths on the side of Oops All Vibes, single-digit deaths on Queen of Diamonds.
I don't think it classifies as a deadlift, though, because it has to be 50% of the final blows. And it looks like, they cleaned it up after that. But still, I mean, Reverts just looked on another level on that map, right? And we have a full look at their stats here. So get up close and personal with it, right? 42 elims, 17 and third. 17.3. Final blows for 10 is crazy. And then only 4 deaths for that entire series. Insane as well.
Yeah, and 4 deaths that entire map is just incredible. I mean, their tank Cloud Lemon had the same, and just a quick shout out. We did talk about them enough. They're that support line for Queen of Diamonds. 2 deaths combined, that entire map right there. Insane for them, but Reverts did a lot there. And one thing I came into the series to talk about here, especially for Oops All Vibes, was that DPS line had to be there to really help out their team a lot. That lower bracket run, those two were doing a lot of the heavy lifting, and that's nothing against Ghostface. Ghostface at time was able to deadlift the team as well, but right now that DPS lineup, or that DPS matchup between the two teams, is definitely being won out here by Queen of Diamonds, and you're seeing it very much here in how each kind of team is playing. Queen of Diamonds, they know what they want to do. That DPS line is finding kills on their own. They don't really need a lot of tank help, but when it's there, they will gladly take it and move on to the next person.
Yeah, definitely. And we are going to head to a short little break, but when we come back, not only do we come back with the series, but we're coming with the Diamond Tier Award Show right after this break. So stick around. You're not going to want to miss the awards coming in for this Diamond Tier right after this break.
Welcome back, everybody. A little treat for you guys as we are in a riveting 2-0 series. Queen of Diamonds ahead in this matchup. But before we get back in, we wanted to bring you guys a little something special. We are going to go over, as Joker preluded to, the awards for this season of the Diamond tier. Every production's going to go over them. Since this is SNO edition, we thought we'd bring the desk in to go over them, break in between maps. So, our first award that we have available is the Rookie of the Season. And the winner for the Rookie of the Season was Shottle from SCAD Sports Black. I mean, Dexatron, I know you know SCAD very well. Go ahead and talk about him.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I thought SCAD was a very good team. I wanted to see him go on. They got knocked out by Oops All Vibes here in the lower bracket, but Shottle, we saw him in this lower bracket run they had out throughout the entire playoffs. Just be able to do so much. They were all over the place for that SCAD B Sports squad. It wasn't enough in the end to get them, further along, but they came out and showed off why this is a team, and especially why this is a player that you need to be watching out for in the coming seasons.
Couldn't agree with you more. Congratulations to Shottle from SCAD Esports Black. Our next award we have is for the Coach of the Year for the Diamond Division. And drum roll, the winner for that was Fez from the Emerald Eagles. We had the Emerald Eagles on quite a lot for SNO. So since, we got the brains, Mr. Headrammer, Big Boss Man, let's go ahead and let you talk about the best coach.
I mean, the one thing with coaching is there's a large number of people that have the knowledge of how to play Overwatch, but do not have the ability to actually teach people. And being able to instill that knowledge in other people, both through being able to break it down into smaller pieces that other people can understand, while also understanding that each individual player, learns and consumes knowledge in a different way and takes feedback in different ways. Some people you have to be a lot more tough on. Some people, you got to soften it a little bit. You can't just, directly call them bad or something like that. So being able to be one of those coaches that is able to have that kind of success, I think is such an important thing. And clearly the entire community voted and agrees the same thing.
Big time. Congratulations, Fez. Emerald Eagles were a very well coached, and they're actually a very improving team. I remember, interviewing and talking to different teams from the Diamond, and they kept talking about, Emerald Eagles, man, they just keep getting better, and they're a team to definitely watch out for as the season was progressing. Now, on to our next award, which I think is as someone who used to manage a team, I was captain, so I was in charge of a lot of things for my team. We have Best Manager, and the winner for that was Vert from Queen of Diamonds. I mean, we brought him in as staff. He did some casting for us. Dexatron, go ahead, talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, hey, best manager. They're 8-0 in the regular season, 3-0 in the midseason, champions of that. 3-0 so far, and halfway to a championship here. They have been all over the place, and they are showing us why right now. They understand everything about this team. They know when to bring in players. They know when to take out players. It's all situational, and that is a lot about coaching as well as managing. It's all kind of the same thing, and it's Vert. We're seeing them play here as well in this series, and they're doing a great job, but it's more of the overarching thing here of just being able to manage a squad like this, especially one that is as dominant as Queen of Diamonds has been this entire season.
Alrighty, next we're going to go ahead and move on to the role stars. So we're going to start with the tank role star for the season, and that ended up being Cloud Lemon for Queen of Diamonds. Joker, I mean, we've been watching them in the series tonight. Talk about it.
I mean, hey, they've been as strong as you need to see them, right? They look a little shaky against the Sigma, but they on the defense, right? They moved out of that Zarya. It looks a lot really comfortable, and being able to play as many tanks as they can and look comfortable on them all is a huge thing, and it really shows why the tank role star.
Congratulations to Cloud Lemon, your tank role star for the Diamond Division. Now we will move on to the damage role star, and I think it's only fitting after the amazing performance they just had on Shambali. Your damage role star was Reverts from Queen of Diamonds. I mean, Headrammer. Go ahead, man. I mean, that was a crazy performance he just put on.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Reverts has been performing all season. You can have, you need a strong backline and tank line to survive, but you also need a player that can take advantage of all of that is provided to you, whether it be the resource and healing or the space that your tank makes for you. We saw in that last map. I mean, right after attack had finished, Reverts had they had a deadlift. They had over 50% of their team's final blows. And every single time they popped their ult, they pretty much immediately got someone, and likely were getting more than one every single fight. Well, I haven't watched them as much on other characters on the Sojourn. When they're on the Sojourn, they are absolutely deadly.
Congratulations, Reverts. Absolutely insane season, and you're having an insane series currently. Hopefully that continues. Now, on to our last Roll Star Award, which is the Support Roll Star Award. And the winner for that one was from Golden Hour. It is Reese Cub, baby. Joker, I mean, let's go ahead and go to you for the Support Roll Star.
Hey, man. When people I think we always say, like, when we don't see any mistakes, or we don't talk about the support on broadcast, right? They're doing their job, and they're doing their job well, and that's what Reese Cub did this seasons for Golden Hour, a top 3 team, right? They came in 3rd, and it was mostly off the back of how well Reese Cub was doing on that support line.
Couldn't agree with you more, so congratulations to Golden Hour on their season and Reese Cub for the amazing support season you had. And now for the most anticipated award, we have our Season 14 Diamond Tier MVP. And it goes to Queen of Diamonds Tank Extraordinaire Cloud Lemon. Congratulations, gets the Tank Roll Star and the MVP. Dexatron, talk about it.
I mean, hey, we already talked about them enough in that tank roll star here, but it's when you get MVP, it's a little bit different. It means you're very important, the most important player in the tier, in the league here. And Cloud Lemon, we're seeing it here tonight. Just a constant, it seems like, calmness to this team. They know what to do. They're kind of controlling how this Queen of Diamonds team is playing. And like I said before, when I was talking about It's Vert, you go perfect in the regular season, the mid-season, and so far in the playoffs for a reason. And a lot of it comes down to in Overwatch 2, how your tank is playing. Yeah, you can see pop-off moments from your DPS. You can see incredible plays from your support line. But if your tank is not there, it is going to be something that really, really hurts your team. And so far, from what I've seen all season from Cloud Lemon, they have just been a solid rock for this Queen of Diamonds team. They very much deserve this MVP.
Yeah, round of applause for Cloud Lemon, your Diamond Season 14 MVP. Thanks to all of you guys who voted and gave us those results. The people voted for who they voted for, so congratulations to everyone. And with that, we're going to go ahead and head back into the series. We've given the teams long enough of a break. So, Joker, Dexatron, take it away.
Reverse sweep incoming.
Get him out of here. Yeah, the talent's back on the stream, Dexatron. Woo!
Reverse sweep incoming. Okay, so Headrummer saying Queen of Diamonds wins this next map and then proceeds to lose 4 straight. But I mean, one thing that we wanted to touch on here, I mean, so far Queen of Diamonds, from map 1 to map 2, you saw it there between those first 2 points and Antarctic Peninsula, really close to that first point. Second point, Queen of Diamonds started to kind of pull away. It kind of had the same story there on Shambali Monastery, where Oops All Vibes did a lot there to slow down Queen of Diamonds, but then when the sides swapped, it seemed like the exact same thing we saw on Antarctic Peninsula, where Oops All Vibes just kept on running into problems. They kept on getting subbed time after time after time again. And a lot of it came down to how that team played. And something we didn't touch on enough was the fact that that support line there for Queen of Diamonds only died twice. Yeah. And we talked about reverts absolutely popping off, and they deserve to have a lot of credit there. But when your support line only dies 2 times combined, you're doing a lot right with your team.
Yeah, definitely. Now, Dexatron. Now we get into map number 3. Map number 3 is Sir of Vasa. And now we also have some changes here coming in, it would seem, for Oops All Vibes. Some switching of roles, some players coming in, coming out. swapping around. We'll talk about it here in a second when we pull that up on the old screen for you.
Yeah, I mean, we have subs and swaps coming in for Oops, and we have a sub coming back in for Queen of Diamonds. But Cerebos to the next map here. Again, this is something that Zach talked about. The better rush team is going to win out in the end, and you can play the Malga here if you want. But in my opinion, Oops All Vibes might be bringing us here to play the Junker Queen. They've been playing that a lot throughout the night already. It kind of seems like that's their fallback pick here. So it wouldn't surprise me if that's the situation we're seeing here. But now, as the lineups come back in here, you see Cake coming in there. Laggy Puppy is going to be moving over to that support line in place of Zach. So Zach is coming out, and back up there on Queen of Diamonds, you have Hollander coming back in for Strider.
The thing is, right? Zach was.
My bad. My bad. No, nothing for Queen of Diamonds. Nothing for Queen.
Yeah, nothing for Queen of Diamonds. Zach, right? More of a tank player, right? So they've been playing on this off roll, kind of trying to piece things together. Now Laggy Puppy trying to figure it out, trying to keep things up, people up and healthy, right? They've got to figure it out here, right, Dex? Because they go down 3-0. That reverse sweep, like Headrammer's predicting, is not very likely. Now, do the pigeons give them the strength that they need here, Dex?
The pigeons? No, probably not. They're pigeons. They don't really do a lot. But again, we talked about it before the start of last map. This is an insanely important map here for Oops All Vibes now, because you don't want to go down 3-0. You want to try to get this one here. Again, your second straight map pick. You have a swap here at that support and DPS line. Zach comes out, Laggy Puppy goes over, Kate comes in. So you want to play a certain kind of comp here, but coming out of the gate, Zarya's for both teams is not what I expected to see. We saw how Queen of Diamonds did with it last time. Ghostface now wants to match it. And I like what Ghostface is doing here, having Cake play the Reaper. I think this helps him out a little bit, but we've seen what Reverts and we've seen what Hollander's been able to do on the other side. Hollander's found a couple double kills with the Blade. That's been enough to carry them through. But the biggest difference between the two teams, you have the Ana for one side and you have the Kiriko for the other. And immediately, you have to say the Kiriko on the other side will find a lot more value because they're going to be able to cleanse those anti-nades out pretty early from Laggy Puppy. So coming out of the gate, Queen of Diamonds, they made the right guesses on everything so far without even seeing the comps, and this has to come back to the point that both these teams talked about. These are scrim partners. They've now played each other 3 times. They know what to expect from each other.
Yeah, definitely. As a resident Zarya enjoyer, though, I am so excited to see some. I'm so excited to see this this Zarya matchup coming in is not looking good. We need to get hand cams are not hand camming correctly at the moment. We're waiting to get Xerneas back on the hand cam. It seems to be the case, as I believe if they are council player, they are required to hand cam for the finals specifically. So, I mean, so just make sure everything's fair, even if they don't have any already on the hand cam list. They just want to make sure things are fair and trying to figure it out. We're getting it in when we can. Obviously, this is a new feeling for some of these players, not knowing how to hand cam previously.
Yeah, I mean, you have to kind of expect that here early on. It just seems like the camera might have died for one of the players here.
Yeah.
But right now, again, looking back at the comps, you talked about Zarya. We didn't necessarily expect to see the Russian here a lot throughout the day or throughout the series, but we're starting to see it a decent amount, and I do like it because it really kind of forces each team here to be very, very cautiously, especially with Queen of Diamonds. They know that Hollander, or my bad, with Oops All Vibes, they know that Hollander is going to be able to dive in and get a bubble, but Strider finding Reverts out early. I mean, Joker, that's a huge pick because Reverts was a monster last match.
Yeah, right. right? And Strider has the ability to take over games as well, and we're going to see if they can do that now, but they're going to go with nice bubble there from Ghostface. Keeping Strider alive is massive. They were all invested, all in the back line, but still staying alive, and now Oops All Vibes are going to look to take first capture of the Flashpoint.
They took first capture, but if they had found Hollander, that would have been huge. They could find Reverts out again very early on. Again, those are the kind of picks you need to get here if you're Oops All Vibes. They cannot allow Queen of Diamonds to fall back to the safety of their team and then charging like this, because look at what happens.
Yeah, log going down is not what you want to see. Now your speed is gone for Oops All Vibes, but hey, the trades are going to come in. Strider very low there. They're not going to be able to stay alive much longer, and Vert takes down Cake. The point's going to flip back over to Queen of Diamonds.
And, I mean, Queen of Diamonds, they did everything right there. They came in, they found a pick, and hell, like you said, they found it on the log. No speed, no large area of effect healing. Yeah, you don't get a lot of healing from the Lucio, but still is enough. However, you do have a Nano coming into this one. Queen of Diamonds, though, on the other hand, gonna have a Kitsune Rush. More importantly, they're going to have a grab here, which, when you look at Ghostface is probably thinking Cloudleman might be around the same kind of area with it. But no, if Cloudleman gets his ready to go early on, that could be a fight winner without having to invest that Kitsune Rush from Xerneas here. But the Nano on the other side, I expect to go on to someone like Ghostface or someone like Strider, because Strider has been all over the place.
Oh, that's a big grab coming in, and that's going to be the cleanup. Ghostface is going to find Hollander. The Nano Boost was invested onto Ghostface. They're going to be able to build up to this grab for the next fight. But Reverts is going to take them down late, which is going to be huge, and they might be able to just take this first point.
And I feel like that was a little bit of a mistake there, investing that Nano. I feel like when you saw that grab come out from Queen of Diamonds, that was the fight right there. If you could live it, cool. Don't invest anything into it. That's going to be something, a huge ultimate gone now, because Queen of Diamonds, they're going to have the Blade. They're going to have a lot here. They're already investing the Kitsune Rush into this one.
Rush gonna come in. Grav is out, but Cloud Lemon's already found two. Overclock gonna come in from Strider. Not gonna be able to find anything at all. And Ghostface down late. Overtime gonna go away. And well, Flashpoint 1 goes to Queen of Diamonds.
I see the idea why Ghostface invested the grab there. They might be making a swap here. Looks like they're not gonna. But I feel like that was a little bit of an unfortunate grab. It just didn't find the value. And look, you're basically seeing the rest of Oops All Vibes make swaps. Laggy going over to the Juno. That DPS line completely swapping. Cake on the Tracer, though. I like this kind of pick because you need to get someone in there to pressure out someone like Xerneas, someone like Vert. You just need to get Queen of Diamonds on edge a little bit. You need to get them on their toes, trying to get them to make quick decisions, not necessarily the best opportunities.
Yeah, right. We're going to have to see here. Definitely at a disadvantage is Oops All Vibes, but if they can find a pick, that's all that they need. Now Vert goes down, Ghostfeet getting it traded out, but there's the Dragon Blade. Sound Mirror from Log, though, might be able to hold it out. Trades keep coming through, but Cloud Lemon is so charged up and ready to rip roaring to go. They are finding all the damage that they need right now, but they haven't been able to force out the point quite just yet here, Dex. But now, with the pick on the Strider and, well, Cake as well, point finally captured up.
And you're seeing why they're the MVP of this tier. I mean, the DPS line is still doing good, but they're not doing as good as they were in the last map. Cloud Lemon has been doing so much on this Czar. Look, they already have another grab ready to go. Xerneas already has another Kitsune Rush. Vert holding onto the beat still, and Reverts has another Overclock, which we know they're deadly with. Oops All Vibes. They have to get something here early on, knowing they're far behind in that ultimate economy, but you cannot lose Ghostface here early.
Cake almost has a Pulse Bomb that could be a difference maker in this fight here. Now the Speed Ring coming out. Graviton Surge now out as well. Overclock into the midst of it. Reverts takes down two. They are going to go down, though. But again, it's not going to matter. It's a consolation prize at the end of the day here, Dex.
And if you're Oops All Vibes, you're going to give up this point here. I don't see a reason that you would go in and try to get another touch. I don't. Unless you want to try to force out an ultimate from Queen of Diamonds, because you did force out the Kitsune Rush last time from Xerneas. I just don't know if that's necessarily the right idea, especially as you already lose Cake.
Yeah, not good. Not good at all. Kitsune Rush, though, invested here by Xerneas. First real misplay that we've seen from them this entire series, right? As they are still going to Strider finds another pick, but that's all they're going to find, right? They're not going to be able to change the tide of this fight. Maybe they do, with reverts coming and going down as well. But now we'll have to see who can get into position quicker.
And here's the thing, I don't blame Xerneas for using that Kitsune Rush there. They wanted to win that fight. They wanted to win that point very quickly. It forced Oops All Vibes off. Strider's doing a lot for Oops All Vibes at the moment, but you need to see the follow-up there from the rest of their team. They are in a good spot, though, coming in this first fight here on the third and potentially final point. You have 4 ultimates. Most importantly, you have a grab ready to go here, and you can combo that with, say, a pulse bomb and find a lot of value with it here. And you see Ghostface looking for the opportunity to use it, but that beam is already highly charged from Cloud Lemon.
Supports are down. Not good at all, right? That's huge, and that's just the fight going the wayside of Queen of Diamonds immediately with those picks.
And I talked about it. They had every kind of advantage going into that there. But Hollander on the other side on this Tracer is just doing incredible. They're getting in that backline, kind of like how I said Cake needed to get Queens and Diamonds support line on their toes. And this is why Queen and Diamonds, we haven't talked about the support line enough, like we kind of mentioned. They're doing so much this game. I don't think they've died maybe more than once a piece here again. They're doing a great job here very early on. Laggy, though, they want to go fast. Oops All Vibes, no, they do not have a lot of fights left.
Cake is going to find the pick on the reverts, but now another one comes in. Hollander's down. There goes the Graviton Surge as well to clean up the point. The point's going to flip over to Oops All Vibes.
I don't really think the grab was needed there, but I get it. You want to win a fight. You want to make sure everyone's being sent back to spawn, but now you look at Queen of Diamonds. Grab, Pulse Bomb, Beat, and Overclock about to be online for them. You have a Deadeye, you have a Beat. The Beat's going to be used to make sure no one dies when that grab comes out, but that Pulse Bomb from Hollander might be there to really clean up a lot of people. Strider has been doing well on this Cassidy so far, finding kills without the Deadeye, but they need to find 1 or 2 here with the Deadeye. But an opening pick here very early on would really help out this team.
It really would, and well, there's the opening pick, but not from the team that it would help. Log is down for the count, and now Ghostface is going to take themselves out as with the right click. Now Revert's popping the overclock, takes down Laggy Puppy, and well, takes down Cake as well. 52 and counting here for Queen of Diamonds.
And again, Revert's and 2 kills with an overclock. What a surprise. Oh, that would have been a huge pick right there, but now Strider somehow going to have to survive long enough for their team, but not going to be able to. That staggers them out so much, especially since they had the only ultimate ready to go in Queen of Diamonds. They could throw out this grab right now, making sure this map is all but over, and that's exactly what they're going to do.
And there's the Pulse Bomb into it. Sound Barrier coming in from Log, though. No, sorry, not from Log. Deaths from both of them. No, the point. Dexatron. Queen of Diamonds, take it. And a pretty decisive fashion. 3-0 up in the series on the championship point.
On the championship point, Strider thinking that's the series right there. No, there's one more map left here for them, at least. If you're Oops all Vibes, I mean, you have the chance to come back in this series. We've seen you've been able to slow down this team in the past, but again, the highlight of this map wasn't that DPS line, it was Cloud Lemon, the MVP of this tier, just absolutely going off again. 1 death there, the highest damage in the lobby, the most kills. Also, quick shout out to that support line. Again, look at them there. 26 kills across the board. Yes, 6 ults from Xerneas. Vert got a beat and held on to it until that final fight, and look at how valuable that was to them. It was huge. They did so much, and we talked about it, or we're not talking about it enough, but I always say, if we're not talking about the sports, it means they're doing their job. If we are, it means they're doing incredible or they're doing horrible. This support line, though, is for the latter. They are doing incredible so far, but let's focus in on the Zarya battle. One that I did not expect to be saying here tonight, but look at the difference here, Joker. Almost 3 times the eliminations per 10 there for Cloud Lemon. More than, I'm quick, 9 times again in the final blows. The damage taken, I mean, Ghostface was dealing or taking a lot of damage there, but then you get to the deaths.
Yeah.
Cloud Lemon absolutely just going off there. Remember, only died once.
That's incredible, right? And they're really showing out here, right? I thought this was going to be a close game. I thought it was going to be on the opposite side of this as well, right? And you know what? Queen of Diamonds looked at me and slapped me in the face. That's really kind of what they're doing right now. They're slapping us all in the face because we thought Oops All Vibes was going to do a lot better than they're doing right now. Now, obviously, Dex, there is still maps to be played.
There's still maps to be played. There's still time to come back. But if you're Oops All Vibes now, you're taking it one map at a time here. You cannot look forward to the next map because there might not be a next map. You have to look forward to this map you're about to play. And like I've said, Oops All Vibes is not completely out of this series. There's been points where they've been able to make it close, been able to slow down Queen of Diamonds. But Queen of Diamonds, like I kind of said when I was talking about my prediction here, is always able to flip a switch and turn it back on. And so far, Oops All Vibes hasn't been able to necessarily get back to that switch to turn it off just yet this entire series. Zach talked about it. They have a chip on their shoulder. They made this lower bracket run. They want to continue it here. They want to be crowned champions. And what better way for them to be crowned champions here with a reverse sweep? Yeah, you don't want that to be the case, but there's that giant chip sitting on their shoulder now, especially as we saw it right there. Strider thought the series was over. No, they have another breath of life here now. They cannot lose another map, but they can sure as hell potentially make us play 4 more.
And man, would that be at a championship to remember, right? I mean, come on. Anyone can 4-0 sweep someone, but can anyone 4-0 sweep someone when they're down 3 already? And the biggest thing would be, right, you're going in enemy territory if you win this map. You have to go against map choices of Queen of Diamonds if you win this. So this is going to make it even harder for Oops All Vibes to do it. But they have the power to do it. They need to lock in here.
And like I said, we've seen them lock in the past, but there's always Queen of Diamonds right there. Like I said, being able to flip that switch, they play completely differently, and it's always someone popping off. It was Reverts on Shambali. It was Cloud Lemon this last map. But throughout it, the most consistent part of this Queen of Diamonds team has been that support line. Again, like I said, not talked about them a lot, but they're doing insane here. 2 deaths combined on Shambali, 4 deaths combined here. 6 deaths across the last 2 maps is insane in any game mode here in Overwatch. This support line has been doing enough here to really carry their team to this championship. But Joker, still, I think Oops All Vibes, they just have to take a moment here to breathe. Just calm down. They're kind of getting in their head a little bit, it seems. It seems like they're trying to play multiple different comps in one. It just kind of felt like that the Zarya comp they were running there wasn't necessarily cohesive. You saw a Tracer, yeah, we saw a Tracer on the other side, but you were seeing Hollander be able to get into that back line a lot more frequently than what we were seeing. I believe it was Cake, or it was one of the DPS, I'm forgetting the names, for Oops All Vibes getting there. We saw no backline pressure at all there. That's allowing the support line for Queen of Diamonds. Just honestly play free, play relax, and you're seeing the benefits of it.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like we have some more changes coming in for Oops All Vibes. We'll talk about that in a second here. We're still waiting for the map to come through from Oops All Vibes. Obviously, they've chosen Control. They haven't chosen Control, but Control has been played. Clash Point, so that's Flash/Clash. Flashpoint/Clash. That's a lot of ash. That's down for the moment. An Escort is already picked from. So, well, we can only go to 2 map types here. And it looks like we have the choice coming in. And it looks like we're headed to Toronto. We're headed to the new Queen Street.
This is a map that we don't see very often, Joker. And let's be honest, there's a lot of people who just don't like this map. I think if you're Oops All Vibes looking to get something going here, this is a map that you had to be scrimming, knowing that no one else is going to want to. You have to have some sort of feeling that if you come into this map here, you're going to know exactly what to do. But Queen of Diamonds, they are a fast learning team. Like we heard from the interview, they are very adaptable, quick to adapt to any situation. And so far, they've been able to guess correctly every time with Oops All Vibes or what they've been doing with their compositions here. Oops All Vibes, they're gonna have to show us something here that really gets Queen of Diamonds off guard early on. I think they have Oops All Vibes have a very, very fast start here. If they get off the kind of starts that we saw in the first 3 maps, they're gonna be behind the 8 ball very quickly, and that bot is gonna be pushed past that first spawn, I bet.
Yeah, definitely. It really seems like Oops All Vibes need a miracle here, Dexatron. Because, I mean, their backs are against the wall, but I love to say it, and I'll say it again. This is where champions are made. When their backs are against the walls, I think of the 2004 Boston Red Sox, even though I can't stand them, right? They came back and reverse swept in a championship series. And that was the first time it was done in a professional setting. And this is a chance for Oops All Vibes to join them on this pinnacle of pinnacles.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a tough uphill battle because, like you said, after this map, if Oops All Vibes does win, it's going to be up to Queen of Diamonds for where we go from here on out. But like I said, if you're Oops All Vibes, you have to take each map one map at a time here. You cannot be looking forward to the next one because there might not be a next one. But Joker, you already hinted at it. Oops All Vibes going to have a couple subs and a couple changes coming back in here. Laggy Puppy going to be going back over to the DPS line. Cake coming in now on that support line. And I think Laggy Puppy being back on that DPS line, kind of where I highlighted them at the start of this series, is the right move for Oops All Vibes here. I believe they are a much better DPS player than what they are as support player, but still, they were an incredible support player that last map for Oops All Vibes. But going back over to the DPS line is where I think they can really shine.
Yeah, more pigeons on the maps.
I mean,
it's now
a major city.
Yeah, the pigeons are made a thing.
It's a major city.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
All right, but back to what you're saying.
All right, back to what I was saying. I'm really excited for this, right? As we are gonna load into some poutine. Man, I'm hungry now that I think about it. Right? It's a new day. It's perfect time for some poutine. If I had it, but I don't. Okay. Oops All Vibes though. That composition is all vibes. If that's that's a composition
it's definitely a composition that's changing. You see both their supports are kind of sitting and spawning.
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of what I expected. But right now on the other side, Cloud Lemon coming back out on the Zarya, I don't blame him. The Zarya has looked absolutely dominant so far for them. Hollander back on the Tracer, which looked great towards the end of the last map because there's no backline peel for Oops All Vibes. They're allowed to be in that backline for free, essentially, and reverts, taking where they are. I mean, the sword has been great, but what did I say, Joker? Oops All Vibes need to have a fast start, and that is a fast start right here. All they need to do now is just clean up the fight.
That was gross. That was gross from Ghostface, but they are going to fall down, and now Reverts is going to find another pick here. Now, another pick! Can we make it another one? No, Vert's going to steal it away from him, but they could still find another one. No, they're not going to find it. Queen of Diamonds, though, take the first fight.
And I thought the fast start that Oops All Vibes was looking to get right there, getting rid of Hollander, was a great pick. But the follow-up wasn't there. Queen of Diamonds did everything they wanted. It seemed like they baited Oops All Vibes into maybe overstepping their boundaries there a little bit, going a little bit further forward than what they were really wanted to, and Queen of Diamonds made them pay. But right now, if you're Oops All Vibes again, who's the target you're going after here?
Yeah, as now here we come into this. Reverts is already going to get caught out. Nice play. Now Strider finds Hollander as well. This is going to be a nice play. Cloud Lemon is going to take Cloud log out, and Ghostface goes down as well. As Cloud Lemon just destroying through him, beaming through everyone for Queen of Diamonds right now.
And that's the biggest thing with Zarya, the pick. The bubbles do so much. The damage she's able to get when she's highly charged is incredibly scary. You saw Ghostface there just trying to, jump and juke around the bus right there. It didn't really work out. Cake was right there to support them, but not enough. And you see right here, Oops All Vibes almost to those forward spawns point, get a fallback, regroup as a team, and they have ultimates coming up here very soon that they could use only one and basically win the fight and get those forward spawns.
Now we go into the fight right here. Laggy Puppy's gonna get caught out already. Cake is gonna find a pick in response. Now another one comes through. Picks are keeping coming for Oops All Vibes now.
And they're finally starting to get this bot moving a little bit. Cake needs to get healed up here. And you look at Oops All Vibes. That ultimate economy is a lot better for them now. But the tank and Log, very, very much behind. They need to be able to win another quick fight without Queen of Diamonds really investing anything very early on. Or if they do invest, just back out. Let Queen of Diamonds use their ultimates here early. But watch out for the pulse bomb from Hollander. That is a great start to a fight anytime.
Yeah, it is now the Kitsune Rush coming in from Azurnius, but the Coalescence is there, but a huge pulse bomb into the Graviton Surge is there. Hollander with 3, but it's all set up by Cloud Lemon. The team kill comes through. So close, though. Oops All Vibes very close to overtaking Queen of Diamonds.
And they needed that right there, especially as we get closer to halfway through this map here, that time bank. Already about 3 minutes gone. But one thing I loved what Oops All Vibes did there, they didn't invest ultimates after the grab came out. They're still holding on to Overclock. They're still holding on to Blade. You're about to have a Rampage and a beat of your own. Here comes the Blade, though, from Laggy.
And they are going to find two picks. Laggy is going to go down, but you forced back its Vert, and they're not going to even invest that sound barrier. And hey, more power to you. You saw the lost fight, and you didn't invest the ultimate into it. And now we're going to see, is Cloud Lemon going to be able to get out? I don't think they are. And you know what I think that means, Dex? I think that means Oops All Vibes are going to be able to take control of or at least get in the head of the victory here now.
Yeah, they're going to be able to take the lead here. And, I mean, they have the ultimate advantage at the moment. That Rampage is going to be huge, but you have a beat and a cleanse on the other side from Xerneas. Reverts, though, this Overclock, consistently throughout the night, always guarantees them at least 2 picks here. They need to be able to shut them down very early on. And, hey, they do exactly that, Joker. Oops All Vibes can now build upon this lead. They need to be able to win another team fight here, though.
Yeah, and they have the opportunity to do that with the Overclock coming in from Strider, forcing back Queen of Diamonds with a Reverts. Now has an Overclock of their own with a Soundberry invested here by Log. Cake and Ghostface gonna be taken down now. Reverts is gonna get caught out, but Cloud Lemon is frontlining right now. They've got so much damage to work with this Zarya. They're forcing them back. The trades keep coming through. Strider with another nice shot, though. They still need to be able to take down Cloud Lemon, and Strider's going to get caught out there. The pincer maneuver comes through. Cake is still alive in the backline, as well as Laggy Puppy, but you can't deflect a beam, and Cake goes down as well. As Cloud Lemon just continuing to put on a show.
Yeah, and we saw Laggy Puppy was kind of stuck behind in enemy lines basically that entire fight. Cake, I felt like they could have got out a little bit, or at least got closer to their team. And look now, those 3 members are going to be coming back. Ghostface and Strider are up. You don't want to lose any of them early. Strider able to get out here, but now the Rampage comes out.
Big Rampage, but there's the nice Suzu coming in from Xerneas. There's the grab in response, and picks keep coming in as Pulse Bomb is out. No one's going to get caught out by it this time, but now Queen of Diamonds continuing to push forward, and we might have a recapture of lead here from Queen of Diamonds.
Yeah, Queen of Diamonds going to be able to take the lead here. And again, if you're Oops All Vibes, I feel like you just need to back out once you saw that grab come out. And so you could have a quick re-engage here, potentially hold Queen of Diamonds from taking the lead. Xerneas does have this Kitsune Rush ready to go. I would not be surprised if they use it here very early on, because they're in the final stretch, Joker. And one team fight win here basically makes it last-ditch efforts for Oops All Vibes.
Cake very low. Cloud Lemon, though, gonna go down in the midst of the cast of the Kitsune Rush, but they might still be able to hold on to this, though. No, probably not. Now with the picks coming in, Log does go down, but they're gonna have to try to regroup, and they do with the picks coming in from Oops All Vibes.
Cloud Lemon and Xerneas already respawn. It looks like the rest of Queen of Diamonds is going to get those forward spawns as well. If you're Oops All Vibes, you just want to try to reset them here and then try to win this next team fight. You do have both your DPS ultimates coming online. Reverts, though, they have their own ultimate coming online. And Joker, we've seen what that's been able to do in the past. You know they're going to be ready and looking for anything here very early on. And hey, I would not be surprised. They're in the backline. Yeah, they're popping it now.
Yeah, Reverts has already found Cake out. Now looking for another pick. They might have a chance to take down Ghostface. They do get caught out. No. Strider has the Overclock available as well. It could be an opportunity to hold this out, push it forward. They did lose forward spawns for the moment. Might be able to get them back here in a few short moments, but I don't think they are. So they're still fighting it out, still waiting it out as these teams are waiting for full strength.
Yeah, and you see, they're both kind of getting back to full strength right now. Oops All Vibes, though, they can get those forward spawns back because it's going to help them out a lot here. Then after that, I would say they have to play aggressive. There's not a lot of time left, and this spot can go back and forth, kind of ping-ponging here at the moment. You need to win a fight here and then go very aggressive if you're them.
Ooh, Strider just got away with their life there. The picks are coming in, though, from Queen of Diamonds. Everything going their way. Strider is trying to stay alive, but Revert's going to take down Laggy Puffy. Hollander's going to have to play a little bit safe for the moment. Revert's now taking all the space in the world that they can.
And those two right there for Oops All Vibes have to just get the safety. Fall back, regroup. You only have about 120 seconds left to go here. You do have almost all your ultimates coming up here, but Queen of Diamonds, I mean, they have a lot of good responses. A grab could immediately stop everything. Beat will basically be there to counter out a lot. And double ultimate uses already. Triple.
Grab coming in. Everything coming in from Oops All Vibes. They are going to, well, win the fight in quotations, right? They're going to get the cart back in their favor, but you only have Strider's overclock, right? And if you can find Vert, that's going to be huge, but the healing's coming through from Xerneas, keeping everyone up, and now you've lost Laggy Puppy. Rampage going to come through, and Xerneas is down, so you cannot cleanse it, and Strider now popping the overclock, finds two. They might be able to find more. Ghostface Hill is going to find a pick with the Carnage, and Oops All Vibes are going to be back in control, and maybe back in control of the lead.
They're going to get forward spawns. They won't get lead. Queen of Diamonds is going to be able to come back out, especially if Xerneas wants to pop their Kitsune Rush, just to make sure that the lead stays in their hands. They have the ultimates to follow up with that here, but Oops All Vibes doesn't.
There they are going to use the Kitsune Rush from the back this time, not coming down main in response, and now they've taken down Cake. Now they're looking for more. They've taken Hollander. Hollander has taken down Strider, and Queen of Diamonds have control.
And right now, Ghostface needs to get out with their life. You see him just kind of diving around corners. Law going to be able to wall ride to safety here, but the time bank no longer on their side. The ultimate bank no longer on their side as well. Cloudlemon can build up to a grab here pretty quickly. Hollander has a pulse bomb to combo with, and Reverts, I mean, I'm not going to say it again. The overclock has been insane for them. The beat and the coalescence needed, but they're fast, but Ghostface is down.
Might be over there. Dex with that pick. Now Log going down. Vert is going to go, as well as Xerneas. Right now, you don't have supports, but Cake getting staggered out here. You can just push this forward and maybe ride yourself to victory, and maybe you don't even push it at all here.
I like this move. They're not going to push it at all. They're going to force Oops All Vibes to get back here in time. They should get a touch, but no, the grab stops them.
The grab touches, and that's it. This is not 34th Street. There is no miracle to happen here. Queen of Diamonds were given a hand, and it's a royal flush, the sweep to victory for the grand finals.
Queen of Diamonds make the Monarchs now a great season, a perfect season for them. No losses throughout it all, and only a couple map losses to boot here, but they ended off, like you said, with a sweep, and that was something that we came into this series talking about. The fact that they have been dropping maps throughout this entire playoff run, they want to show us here tonight why they were the dominant team all season long, and they sure as hell did that.
Wow, Cloud's crazy on the Zarya. I wish we were in more of a Zarya meta, because Cloud Lemon on the Zarya would have just been a dominant force. Rivals of the Joker's Ransom Zarya. Perhaps some people are saying that. The some people are me.
Say some people want.
Yeah, the one person, it's me. But yeah, I mean, that was just incredible stuff all around for that Zarya here. Which is also interesting, right? We'll take a look at the side by side between Strider and Reverts. Very, very similar stuff here.
Yeah, very similar. And going back to what I said after map 1, that was a very close map. Maps 2 and 3, not very close. But Oops All Vibes put it all out there on the table. They left it all out there. They made this map incredibly close, but it was just, again, the plays of that support line that really helped them out here. But when you look at Reverts and Strider here, eliminations per 10, only separated by 1. Strider actually got more final blows, had more, they did, take more damage, but the deaths, incredibly, the same across the board. This was by far the closest map in this series, and you saw it there. Oops All Vibes, they were finding picks early in fights, and where in the 3 maps before this, they were struggling to do that. They almost were able to take back that lead there, but it just everything about this Queen of Diamonds team, they did everything right when they needed to.
Yeah, definitely. And you kind of are thinking about what if Oops All Vibes took us to this map after map 1, right? Maybe things are looking different here. Maybe they get more momentum in their favor. Maybe they don't win it, but they look strong on this map, right? And that gives them a confidence going to map 3, map 4. And we're looking at a tied series, maybe, or a 3-1 series right now. But in the end, we're not playing the games of ifs and ands. We're playing the games of what happened. And what happened was a sweep for Queen of Diamonds. We're going to head to a short little break here. We're going to be back with an interview from Queen of Diamonds, so stick around. You're not going to want to miss that.
I'm not crazy, Malin. I'm not crazy, Malin. I've just been in a very bad mood for 40 years. 40 years.
Carpe diem. Carpe diem.
Let's have a bit of fun till I downfall. My love, if you feel like I do right now, don't say you're on the run to the other side. My love, you say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose.
Welcome back, everyone. We're here with Cloud Lemon, the MVP of Tier 3, and the Tank Roll Star as well for Diamond Tier. Cloud, first off, congratulations on the Grand Finals victory.
Thank you so much. It's been a long journey, a very long journey, and it's crazy that we're finally here.
All right. I want to talk about the Zarya because many people are saying there's a good correlation between us. I'm a Zarya enjoyer. You seem to be a Zarya enjoyer as well.
I am.
Is that Zarya a pocket pick or something you're really comfortable on, and is that why you brought it out today?
I feel like Zarya hasn't been meta for quite some time, but I did play it a lot, in Overwatch 1, so I have plenty of experience with it. It wasn't something that we decided until literally yesterday. So with this new patch, we all had a lot of anxiety, and we wanted to know what to, play. Should we play meta, or what is meta? And there's a lot of things, but we knew that the Zarya is going to be good against their playstyle specifically. So, yeah.
And speaking about their play style, it was brought up in both the interviews we saw before the game, but you guys, scrim partners, a lot of respect across the board for both teams here. Did you kind of have a feeling of what they were going to be bringing out in every map? Because it sounded like both teams were keeping it very secretive with us beforehand.
So, yes, we are very good friends with Oops All Vibes. They're great people. We love them. I would say the most recently we've been very nervous because they've been the best they've ever been in beating us in scrims. But yes, so they're two tanks. They're two amazing tanks, Ghostface and Zach. We've scrimmed them and we know exactly what they play. So knowing that is definitely how we kind of situated our compositions.
Absolutely. And one thing that you guys were this entire season, I mean, regular season, perfect. Mid-season tournament, perfect. Playoffs, perfect. A couple maps lost here and there, but it's very, very difficult to go 0 losses in any game, in any series throughout any season. Doesn't matter the tier, doesn't matter how good everyone is. It's always difficult to basically be perfect throughout an entire season. Was there any pressure from that, especially in this series here tonight, knowing that you had not lost one at all up until this point, but now that you have won let me just stop there. Was there any pressure? Was there any pressure knowing that there was a perfect season on the line tonight?
The pressure was insane. We honestly didn't think that we would have an undefeated season, and there were so many games that were so close against many teams. We've worked really hard to get here. Double scrim blocks, scrimming against really hard teams. Yeah, the pressure, like, I have some anxiety disorders that I definitely have moved past, but they were definitely surfacing this past week, especially with the patch just being a few days ago. It's kind of crazy, but we've worked really hard despite all our challenges and anxiety.
All right, I want to talk about the support line for you guys, because we were singing their praises all night long. What is it like to play with a support line that is just so stalwart, that just doesn't seem to die and knows what to do like every single time?
It's it's amazing as a tank. In my comp games, it's miserable, but in scrims and tournament games, and we have 5 supports, so it just really depends on the meta, and it was really unfortunate. I just want to shout out Coda, Locos, Granny, Salem. It all really depended on the meta, but they were amazing. And having Vert and Zern, Vert being a Lucio player, I feel like there's not very many Lucio players out there. So having that advantage, and then Zern just being so flexible is a amazing as a tank to have. I'm very thankful.
All right, you gave some shout outs. Do you have any more shout outs that you'd like to give for the rest of your team, or whoever you really want to?
Yeah, definitely. I still haven't mentioned Hollander and Rev. They've been our core for most of the season, and Camel, he's been my rock. Most of the regular season, he was dominating, and I feel like he doesn't get talked about enough. But we synergize, our hero pools synergize so well, and then having amazing scrim partners as well. Towards the first half of the season, we were scrimming Golden Hour, and we're really good friends with them. And then pretty much the remaining of the season, it's been SCAD giving us warm-ups before each game, as well as Oops All Vibes. So I just want to shout out to them that we really appreciate your help and your support, and thank you for helping us get here.
All right, Cloud, go celebrate with your squad. Congratulations again on your grand finals victory in the Diamond tier.
Thank you so much.
All right, Dex. I mean, wow. What a nice interview, right? Shouted out all the teams as well, the scrim partners, which is not something we normally hear in our shout outs.
No, it's not, and it kind of tells you a lot about, especially this tier in general. It seems like as this season went on, a lot of these teams were becoming friends with each other. That's always something great to see. Queen of Diamonds, I mean, they talked about Golden Hour, they talked about Oops All Vibes, they talked about SCAD. That was a lot of these teams in the playoffs. Hell, those were the top 4 teams in this playoffs here. They were swimming up against the best 4 teams in this tier at the end, and they could have gone up against any of them. It was incredible to hear them shout out them. It was incredible to hear them shout out everyone that we didn't necessarily see tonight as well, because like I said, this was a team of 10 players. We only saw, I believe, 6 throughout it, so we did not see the majority of this team. But still, like he said, there were people that popped off at points in this season that we didn't see here tonight that definitely deserve a lot of credit.
Yeah, definitely. And I also want to shout out, the chat said that he was playing in that outfit the entire series as well. Loved that. So he put it on after map 1. That's fantastic. What is also fantastic is the rest of our desks, so we can bring them back here, and we'll talk about the series.
I mean, very great introduction. I mean, fantastic. I mean, I'd say good. Like, I don't know if necessarily fantastic describes it, but good enough. But I appreciate the hype. But that was a hype series for Queen of Diamonds, at least, man. We were talking about how we were worried about them dropping maps coming in when they hadn't been during the regular season. Looks like we were worried for no reason. 4-0 domination, and I was closest to getting the pred right. The vibes were all in favor of Queen of Diamonds, and they absolutely ran the show tonight. Let's go ahead and just get an overview of this series. We'll start with Headrammer, since the other two have been talking. They probably want a little bit of a break.
I was gonna say we could make them suffer. We could just be like, just constantly sit down here, keep throwing to them over and over and over. No, it was it was a pretty dominant series overall from Queen of Diamonds. It felt like some of the closest stuff, ignoring that last map there for a bit, was right there in the beginning, and it felt like the resistance from Oops All Vibes kind of like went down a little bit, and they were really trying to figure out, how do we solve this problem? How do we figure out? And I think they were starting to figure out some of it towards that last map there, but there was just a few things that kind of didn't go their way properly. A few fights got staggered a little bit too long, maybe a few more ults used than they really wanted. The series definitely felt like it kind of got away from them. I mean, we can go back and forth of whether who was divvying who. In the end, it is a team game, and I felt like what Queen of Diamonds team was bringing to each other was just enabling each other so strong. You had the support line feeling like they were never dying, constantly pumping the heals into Cloud. You had Cloud then be able to make so much space for reverse, just seemingly hit and make every single shot they were presented with. It was truly a team effort, and it very rarely during that series did it feel like they were not in control of it.
Look, to me, I think that last map started to go in their favor because, I don't know, maybe you matched the Sojourn. Like, maybe if you would have done that the whole series, it might have turned out differently. Dexter Stride, I mean, what do you think? I mean, I felt like Sojourn, you know, Reverts was having a great game, but Strider had some moments, you know, maybe first map goes differently, which was much closer if you're playing the Sojourn.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it a little bit on Cerebus as well. Even when they weren't playing the Sojourn, they were playing the Cassidy. They were able to find picks very consistently, something that DPS line was kind of struggling to do, even as I kind of said multiple times throughout the series, where I was really hyping up that DPS line, saying that Oops All Vibes will go as far as that DPS line will take you. And in the maps where they were close, that DPS line was doing a lot for them. Strider came in after the first map, remember, and they looked pretty solid on every map they played. But it just wasn't enough because map 2, I mean, you saw it reverts, they're just popping off. Map 3, it was Cloud Lemon, and then map 4, it was just everyone for that Queen of Diamonds team. Oops All Vibes, I mean, like they said coming into it, they had a huge chip on their shoulder, but it just seemed like Joker made the analogy, you have a plan until you get punched. They, after that first punch, it seemed like they were kind of all over the place.
He took it from me.
I did?
Great words, Joker. Great words, Joker.
Wait,
Great work, Joker.
Wait, I said that?
Someone said it.
Oh,
I'm bad with
I said it before the match on desk.
I'll take.
Okay,
you know what? I'll take full credit for it. Thank you very much.
No worries, just funny things. I mean, again, it was. I mean, speaking of the praise of Queen All Diamonds, but I just want to give Oops All Vibe their credit. I mean, they had one hell of a lower bracket run. Unfortunate. I wish they could have taken a map off, not only for my pride to be exactly right, but just to give a little bit of like some pride. They should still feel good about getting runner up, but I mean, Joker, I kind of just want to give them a little bit of a shout out here. I mean, how well did Oops All Vibe did this season?
They did it without. Okay, I want to say that they did this entire like lower bracket run without a support player, because Zach's a tank player, and Zach was filling in on support this entire lower bracket run, and then they were still without a support tonight as well. Zach tried their best. They tried everything that they really could. It's just unfortunate that things don't line up when they don't have their support player. And like our interview said, I mean, not this interview, but the last time we saw Oops All Vibes, right? If they have their entire team, they're gonna do a lot better. And they didn't have their entire team, but they still did really good. Like I said, if we saw them go to push second, I think we're looking at a slightly different series right now.
Yeah, very unfortunate. They did seem to find their stride on that push map. Didn't go their way, but it was very, very close. Now, as good as that series was and how many different players popped off, I feel like, it wasn't the easiest thing to figure out who the MVP was. So we did think there was a clear pick, and we did come to a decision, and I'm sure chat's going to be extremely happy about this one after reading it. Xerneas is our MVP for the series. Absolutely insane on that carry. I swear, I was in chat for the first 2 maps with Megalas, our other caster and the one who did all the interviews. We're literally looking at the stats at the end and seeing the amount of ults they're getting. And we go, that's got to be a bug. There's no way they got that many ults off. Like, it was ridiculous.
I mean, we talked about we saw Cloud Lemon, we saw Reverts pop off, but you can't pop off when your supports, if your supports aren't giving you everything. And Xerneas gave everything. There was only a few plays that you kind of question it, but still made sense in some light, right? Xerneas did everything that Queen of Diamonds needed them to do and more.
I mean, Headrammer, high-level support player that you are, talking about the importance of how well Xerneas was playing for their team.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Joker hit the nail right on the head. You know, the rest of your team will not be able to do what they do unless you provide for them, and providing for them is not just healing. You know, obviously they need to sustain. You know, it's putting the damage pressure on to make sure they can't be pushed on as well. It's keeping proper spacing and knowing when to go in, go out, so that you're not put in a vulnerable position to fall. If a support falls, especially a Juno, I mean, this your team just falls apart and collapses, and you either lose sustain or just instantly get picked. And your life is so important as a support player, and you are truly what enables everything else to happen.
I mean, Dex, what were some of your favorite moments that Zerny has had in this series?
I mean, we could talk about several, but I just want to talk about the thing that really locked them in as the champions here. They held on to a Kitsune Rush after a couple of fights there towards the end of New Queen Street. And I mean, I talked about it going into that one of the final true engagement. They had it ready to go. I thought they were going to come down the hill and use it, but no, that entire team decided to go rotate around and just come from behind, catching Oops All Vibes completely off guard. And that Kitsune Rush was the nail in the coffin for that series. Yeah, I could talk about the grab from Cloud Lemon about 30 seconds later, but that Kitsune Rush made sure that they won that fight pretty quickly and just made sure that we did not see any further engagement from them without having any ultimates as well, because I believe Oops All Vibes maybe use their final ultimate to try to live out that Kitsune Rush. I mean, Xerneas, and like we said throughout the series a lot, we don't talk about the supports enough, and I will always say we don't talk about them because they're doing their job, but we only talk about them when they're either doing their job incredible or they're doing their job and it's hurting, or they're not doing their job at all. Xerneas was the latter there, doing it incredible throughout this entire series. Like you said, everyone in chat was going off saying Xerneas is carrying when we were saying Reverts was deadlifting the team on Shambali Monastery. Reverts was all over the place, and this support line in general for Queen of Diamonds did incredible throughout the night, but it was Xerneas that really stood out.
Couldn't agree with you more there, Dex, and I do want to highlight, watching that final map on New Queen Street, literally I kept thinking, wow, this is, looking okay for Oops All Vibes, that, they got ults out, or, they used their ults and wiped them. But then I look up, I'm like, no, they're just going to come back and re-engage the Kitsune Rush, and they don't have anything for it. Like, the amount of times they held on to it at the perfect time was very much flipped fights in their favor and didn't allow any positive momentum for Oops All Vibes to be able to get. But I digress. Congratulations to Xerneas for winning the MVP of the Grand Finals for NA Diamond. I'm just very happy to see multiple people getting shouted out, because we had so many role stars, so many MVPs and stuff. Xerneas didn't get any of them, but you get the Finals MVP, which is always another nice award to be able to get. Now comes the sad part. We're getting here at the end of the stream. It is the last SNO broadcast we are doing of the season. But keep in mind, SNO will be back again next season, which, I mean, I'm not giving any dates, but I hear it's in the February-March range. Is that correct, Headrammer?
I apologize. I made a mistake and read Twitch chat. Say it again.
Oh, I said I'm not, leaking any dates, but I hear the start of the next season is the February-March area. Is that correct?
Yeah, something like that. That'll be fine. Basically, we just nailed down pretty much all our dates for the next 6 months. Earlier today, just put them mostly in stone. We'll say it's a little bit of slow moving sand. We will have a lot more information, honestly, next week for upcoming dates, including off-season tournaments next season, a few other things. Expect more information quite soon. Some sooner than you think.
Very excited for those opportunities. And before we end the broadcast, let's just go ahead and give a last final bow to Queen of Diamonds. We do have that updated bracket with them winning the entire thing. Congratulations, Queen of Diamonds. I mean, they were undefeated the entire season, kept that true, and had a perfect Grand Finals 4-0 sweep. As we mentioned, last week of SNO for the season. We'll be back February-March area, so very excited for that. We hope to improve and even better for all you viewers out there. So would be nice to hear, if you guys have any ideas of stuff we could do to improve it, or, ideas for, maybe activities or something would be cool to, jog our brains a little bit. Would be awesome to hear from that. And with that, I want to thank all of you beautiful gentlemen for joining me on the desk. And I'd like to give a shout out to everyone who was a part of SNO. Our casters for the season, we had Dex and Hunter, Mega and Fletch, Twin Salty and Time to Light, and then all of our prod. We had Little Joe, Cry, Orange, MI Blizzard, Hippie, Rhino Vod, and June. You guys are all absolute rock stars, and I think we all did ourselves proud, and I hope you guys all enjoyed SNO for this season, and I can't wait to see you guys for next season. But with that, we'll bid you adieu until next season for SNO. We're out.
Still grand finals coming up, though.
Yeah, there's more grand finals coming up.
Got lots of love. Got lots of love. Got lots of love.